Check 1 2. Check check check. Testing 1 2. All right, first pitch in 18 minutes.
Ridgefield Raptors baseball. The pregame show starts right now.
Well, the series between the Ridgefield Raptors and the Bellingham Bells comes down to this. Welcome, everybody, to Game 3 of this three-game series from Ridgefield, Washington, where the Raptors continue to play host to the Bellingham Bells. This is the deciding game of this three-game series, with Ridgefield evening the series up with plenty of hits, plenty of runs last night, 15 runs in yesterday's ball game on a whopping 20 hits, and the Raptors take Game 2 last night. 15-10 was the final score. Both teams, one of their best offensive performances of the season. 20 hits for Ridgefield, just 7 hits for the Bells, but they did have 10 runs. They had the tying run at the plate in the 8th inning, but Ridgefield closed it out. Carson Walters, the winning pitcher. Top 4 batters in the Ridgefield lineup all had 4 hits apiece. And we will see a similar lineup here today. Let's get you the starting lineups first for the Ridgefield Raptors here on this Thursday evening. Welcome to July, everybody, by the way, on the first game of this middle month of the summer season that concludes in August. All right, batting first for the Ridgefield Raptors and the designated hitter is Tafton Hensley, who went 4 for 6 yesterday. Reese Hernandez bats second, the left fielder out of San Jose State University. Batting third, and in right field out of Cal State Fullerton by way of Anaheim Hills, California, Caden Connor. Batting fourth, the first baseman Kobe Morales, who went 4 for 6 yesterday, and for the first time in Ridgefield Raptors history, a player had 3 doubles in one game. That was Kobe Morales yesterday. That had never happened before in the history of Raptors baseball. Granted, this is just the second season of Raptors baseball, but nonetheless, he is the first player in organization history to do so. Three doubles in one contest. The fifth batter in this lineup, the shortstop, is John Peck, fresh off a day off yesterday. John hitting .304 on the season, back in the lineup today. Batting sixth, playing third base again, getting his third start of the year, Brad Norton out of Rutgers University. Batting seventh and second base at a Linfield University, Tanner Jocks. Batting eighth, the catcher getting his first start in a West Coast League game, Brad Priap out of Radford University. Batting ninth, the center fielder from Oregon State University is Micah McDowell, his first home run of the year yesterday. On the hill today for the Ridgefield Raptors is Brock Gillis at a University of Washington. The 19-year-old right-hander takes the mound out of Everett, Washington, making his third appearance of the season. For the Bellingham Bells, the first batters that Brock Gillis will see will be Daniel Jernin, the center fielder, Yugo Hamakawa, the second baseman, and Luis Aviles, the catcher. Those three out of Lower Columbia College, Northwestern Oklahoma State, and Tulane University, respectively. Well, it was a 15-10 final score yesterday when Ridgefield scored in every single inning. They didn't come to the plate in the bottom of the ninth, being the home team, and had the lead. So they scored in 8 innings. That was all 8 times to the plate, and several of them double-digit, or multiple runs, I mean. Not double-digit, but they got to double-digit runs, which was the highest number of runs Bellingham had allowed all season was last night. And this is a Bellingham team that came into the series with the best ERA in the league, and Ridgefield has done a number on them. Last night alone has pushed them down to third in the league. That's what playing Ridgefield will do to you. You come in as the best ERA, and you'll leave lower down in the league standings in that category. All right, here's the first pitch from Brock Gillis, and we are underway right as the clock hits 6:35 p.m. Right on time here in Ridgefield. First pitch is a ball from Brock Gillis, the right-hander working out of the windup against the leadoff man and Daniel Jernin out of Lower Columbia College. And the pitch up high. Ball 2 from Brock Gillis. 6'2", 200-pound freshman, spent 1 year at Washington. He is in the transfer portal, so he'll be pitching for a different school to come. The 19-year-old out of Everett, Washington, getting his second start of the year. Got his debut on June 19th against the Northwest Star Nighthawks. The 2-0 pitch just misses. 3-0 from Brock Gillis. He's gone 2 innings in each of his appearances so far. Total of 3 earned runs in those 4 innings. 1 strikeout, 4 walks, 3 hits. And now on the mound, trying to start out well against the Bellingham Bells. 3-0 pitch is high, and he concedes a 4-pitch walk to Daniel Jernin. 15 walks in the ballgame yesterday that the Bellingham Bells drew, but Ridgefield pitchers allowing just 7 hits in the ballgame, and the batters outpacing Bellingham, putting up enough run support, and ended up winning at 15-10 yesterday to even the series at 1 game apiece and move Ridgefield a game closer to Corvallis. Looking at the action on a wild day yesterday around the West Coast League that included the 25-run score here at this ballpark last night, as Brock Gillis now gets ahead of the second man, Yugo Hamakawa, second baseman out of Tokyo. Plays his collegiate baseball at Northwestern Oklahoma State. He's on a 4-game hit streak. So Ridgefield and Bellingham had their own dramatics yesterday with a 15-10 game that was down to the wires. Bellingham never led in the contest, but had the bases loaded in the 8th inning and the tying run at the plate. Carson Walters got out of it, ended up earning the win yesterday in the 5-run victory over the Bellingham Bells. Even the series at 1 game apiece. This is the rubber match. 0-1 pitch is sliced backwards by Hamakawa. Runner on first, nobody out, just getting underway here in the top of the first inning. To no balls and 2-strike count to Yugo Hamakawa, who's hitting .298 in his first on the team in batting average. That was not the only interesting game last night around the West Coast League. You've also got a couple games that were delayed by lightning, 2 different games in the same night, both of which had to be pushed back to the next day, that is today, and both of them have concluded, and they'll play the finale this evening. The 0-2 pitch from Gillis is again fouled back by Hamakawa to stays alive. The Cowlitz and Walla Walla game taking place in Walla Walla was suspended in the 9th inning yesterday with the game tied at 4-4. So a lightning delay pushed that one back to today. They played the 9th inning. Cowlitz scored 3 runs in the top of the 9th and then hung on in the bottom of the 9th inning. So they won 7-4, and they'll have a rubber match tonight at 7:05. That was just one of 2 lightning delays yesterday. The 0-2 pitch from Brock Gillis is swung on, blooped foul on the left field side, and Hamakawa will see a 5th pitch of this at bat with nobody out yet in this ball game. 1 runner on first. Gillis threw a 4-pitch walk to the leadoff man, but now is ahead 0-2 to the second batter of the top of the first inning, with the Bellingham Bells closing out this series and heading back north to the Evergreen State, while a northern part, more north to Bellingham for a home series, while Ridgefield will go south. Gillis throws low in the 0-2 pitch. 1-2 is the count from the right-hander. Runner on first, nobody out, top of the first inning. The other lightning delay happened in Bend, where the Corvallis Knights were playing after Corvallis lost the first game of that series to the Bend Elks, and then were knotted up early in that ball game. And with a rain delay, 1-2 pitch is hit to the second baseman, fielded by Tanner Jock, shovels to John Peck, throws to first in time. It's a double play, and the bases are empty with 2 outs here in the first inning. Easily in time from John Peck, who got the day off yesterday, wastes no time in recording an assist and a putout here in the top of the first. And he even had a little bit of a struggle getting the ball out of his glove, but still got his foot on the bag, made the play, stayed calm, and threw on at first, still easily in time to finish the 4-6-3 twin killing. Next scheduled hitters, Luis Aviles, the catcher, hitting .263 on the year, 2 home runs, including a 3-run bomb earlier this series, part of the Bellingham win. It was a 7-1 final score on Tuesday, and the Ridgefield Bats woke up the next day, going from 1 run scored to 15 runs scored. First pitch is a ball to Aviles. 1-0 is the count from Brock Gillis. 2 outs, nobody on. He misses high. 2-0 is the count. So that game with Corvallis and Ben went into a lightning delay in the 3rd inning, with Corvallis leading 2-0. They were able to resume play later that night at 10 o'clock, and so they decided, let's start it now. Let's try to play the rest of this game. And they did get through 9 innings in that game after restarting at 10 o'clock. Only problem was it was tied at the end of 9 innings, so they still weren't done. So they went into extras as Gillis misses down low. It's 3-0 to Luis Aviles out of Tulane University, 5'11", 200. So they went to the 10th inning. Neither team scored, still tied at 5-5. Including a bases-loaded situation where Bend had 1 out, bases juiced, needing a single or a deep fly ball to win the game on a walk-off, but the last 2 guys got out with the bases loaded, and so the 10th inning ended at just past midnight. Gillis pumps in a strike. It's 3-1 from Brock. 2 outs, nobody on base, top of the first inning. A scoreless ball game here from Ridgefield. Gillis throws the 3-1, and it is a strike as Aviles throws the bat aside to the dugout, and he will have to go and recollect it and now take a 3-2 pitch as the at-bat continues for Luis Aviles despite his disagreement. Home plate umpire today is Andrew Mervin, in the field Jordan Shepard. So that game continued into the 10th inning. Bend unable to get the walk-off in the 10th, and by rule there in Bend, they cannot start a new inning past midnight and keep the lights on, so they had to conclude the game there, say, all right, we'll pick it up where we left off tomorrow. So they started in the 11th inning today, knowing they were going to also play a whole other 9-inning game later this evening. They played the 11th. Corvallis did not score, and then Bend got the walk-off single by Chase Matheny, and so Bend got the victory earlier today, and then they'll play another game that's just getting underway now. As now that pitch looked over the zone, and that one's called a ball to Aviles. So right after he thought he had the walk, then that one's called a ball, and Aviles draws the second walk that Bellingham has drawn this inning. Runner on first, nobody out. Or excuse me, runner on first, 2 outs, nobody scored. The double play earlier wiped the bases clean. Now a runner on first again. 2 down, top of the first inning. Cole Hinkleman to the bat. Designated hitter southpaw against the right-hander and Brock Gillis, a called strike. That Corvallis Knights lost today to Bend means they've lost both games, have the Knights, and that helps out Ridgefield since the Raptors have a chance to earn the first half title, which would earn them an automatic postseason berth in August no matter what happens the rest of the season. The 0-1 pitch from Brock Gillis to Cole Hinkleman. Gillis working out of the stretch, it swung on and fouled back, 0-2. So Gillis walks a guy, then gets ahead 0-2, then walks a guy, then gets ahead 0-2. And the earlier time when he got ahead 0-2, he induced a ground ball double play. Don't need a double play this time, just any ground ball will do to an infielder. 2 outs, an 0-2 count. So now Corvallis is within 2 games of the Corvallis, or the Ridgefield is within 2 games of the Corvallis Knights, and they play the Knights this upcoming series. 0-2 pitch, swung on and missed, and Brock Gillis ends the inning with a punch out. He faces 4 in the frame, works around a couple of walks, helps out with a double play, and gets 1 strikeout as well. We head to the bottom of the first inning here at Ridgefield. It's the Bells 0, and the Raptors coming up.
Baseball is back, and Peace Health is excited to once again sponsor the Ridgefield Raptors as they vie for the West Coast League title. Raptors games make a great family outing. Bring the whole crew to the ballpark to enjoy a safe, fun outdoor event featuring the thrills of Raptors baseball. As the largest health provider in Clark County, Peace Health is ready to step up to the plate and keep your family in the game, whether it's a routine appointment or specialty emergency care. Peace Health and the Ridgefield Raptors, 2 great teams.
C-Tran is your public transit system offering service in Clark County and beyond. Catch local service in Clark County, regional and express service to Portland, and connector service within the city limits of Camas, La Center, and Ridgefield. And if you don't have cash, no problem. C-Tran now accepts digital payments with Hop FastPass. So hit a home run and leave the driving to us. Visit c-tran.com for more information. C-Tran, our community, our promise.
Rubber matches so far this season. And they did it against Portland earlier this year, the second series of this summer. That rubber match went to the 13th inning, and Ridgefield walked it off in the bottom of the 13th. They have had 3 rubber matches. This is their 4th. They are 2-1 in the deciding games of series so far this year. All 3 games were comebacks, and 2 of them went to extra innings, both of them ending in walk-offs. So we've seen some very interesting series-clinching games so far this summer. Bellingham is 0-3 in rubber matches so far this year. Ridgefield comes in 12-8 on the year. Bellingham an opposite 8-12. Ridgefield second place in the Southern Division, trying to pick up a half game against the Corvallis Knights. Leading off for the Raptors is Tafton Hensley, designated hitter, getting his second spot in the leadoff role. It was yesterday. First pitch, he bunted, got on base with a single. Later on, homered in the ball game. We'll see if he lays down a bunt in the first pitch. Corner infielders playing a little bit more into Tafton, who takes a partial swing and hits it off the hands behind home plate without even really going around, but it pops over the catcher. And actually, I don't think that touched his bat. I think it glanced off the glove of the catcher, so it is a ball inside. It looked like it almost glanced off the bat, but it is 1-0 from J.D. Callahan, starting pitcher, who now throws a strike. 1-1 as we head to the bottom of the first inning, still scoreless between the Raptors and the Bells. J.D. Callahan out of UC Santa Barbara, a right-hander, getting the nod today for the Bells. 1-1 pitch swung on and missed. Callahan plays for UCSB. He's a Santa Clarita native down in California, which is the same city that Taft and Hensley plays his college ball in, plays for College of the Canyons. J.D. Callahan is from the city that COC is located in, as Hensley swings and misses on the slurve from Callahan. One away here in the bottom of the first. Callahan's got a fastball, changeup, and slurve that'll throw from time to time, just kind of developing that one this summer. The 20-year-old plays at UC Santa Barbara, so he actually shares a lot in common with Will Chambers. He's not playing today. Hope to see Will again before too long, but Will not in the lineup today as Reese Hernandez comes to the plate. One out, nobody on, bottom of the first. No score. Reese Hernandez takes a ball from Callahan, 1-0. J.D. Callahan on the mound. He not only is from Santa Clarita, which is basically where Will Chambers is from. Will technically from Val Verde, not far away, and then Will went to the same high school as J.D. Callahan. That's West Ranch High School. Hernandez takes another pitch near the black on the outside corner. This one called a strike, 1-1 with one out to Reese Hernandez. Went to the same high school, and then Will Chambers spent a little bit of time at UC Santa Barbara before going to College of the Canyons. As J.D. Callahan throws the ball 2-1. Callahan currently is on UCSB, so they share a hometown or near the same place, and then went to the same high school, and for a brief time, although they didn't overlap at UCSB, they went to the same college as well. On two players now facing against each other in the West Coast League as Reese Hernandez runs into one to right center field. It'll die in front of the warning track, and Grayson Sterling makes the catch. And two outs here in the bottom of the first inning. Hernandez hit that one pretty well, but it couldn't quite carry enough out, although the wind is blowing out towards right field. Caden Connor to the plate, the right fielder. 20-year-old out of Anaheim Hills, California. Yesterday went 4 for 5 with a double and 3 RBIs. Caden, one of 4 players with 4 hits yesterday, all in the top 4 players of the lineup. The first 4 guys, 4 hits, 4 hits, 4 hits, 4 hits. And the next guy, Grant Heiser, had just 2 hits, which pales in comparison and yet is absolutely a solid day. Heiser himself had a home run off the scoreboard, and even that doesn't jump off the page as much as the guys in front of him. As Connor shows bunt, lays it down the third baseline, just fair. No throw to first on a beauty of a drag bunt. Caden Connor gets on board with a 2-out bunt single. And that was an absolutely majestic bunt down the third base line, just maybe 8 to 10 inches fair. And halfway up the line, with the third baseman playing far enough back, had no chance to get Caden Connor on a drag bunt. Kobe Morales to the plate, had 3 doubles yesterday. Another one here could potentially score Caden Connor from first base. 2 outs, no score. Bottom of the first. Kobe Morales is the first Ridgefield Raptor ever to have 3 doubles in one game. He hit them to different parts of the ballpark. First pitch is outside to Morales. 1-0 to Kobe with 2 outs. Kobe from Cypress College has a chance to perhaps go to a D1 after this year. Since he started at a JUCO, he can leave at any time, doesn't have to get his associate's degree. So he could go to any school that is interested in him, and there are a few who are talking to him. 1-0 pitch is swung on and hit hard to right field. This one's going to carry all the way out. 2-run bomb for Kobe Morales, and the Raptors are on the board here in the bottom of the first inning. It's 2-0 Ridgefield. Kobe Morales' 4th home run of the year. 3 doubles yesterday and now a home run today. And just crushed that one over the bullpen in right field. And he gives the Raptors an early 2-0 lead. After a 3 home run ball game yesterday, which was a season high for the Raptors hitters, Kobe Morales gets an early one here. Kobe was not one of the players who had a home run yesterday. It was Grant Heiser, Micah McDowell, and Tafton Hensley who had the homers. Morales still had a great day. J.D. Callahan gives up a 2 spot and now has to face John Peck. There was a breaking ball in the first pitch. He's ahead 0-1. John, who had the day off yesterday, and now back to the shortstop role today. 2 outs, nobody on. 2-0 lead for Ridgefield to the fastball at 86 for J.D. Callahan, a called strike. Kobe Morales had the day off in Game 1 of the series. Came back in Game 2 with that 3-double performance, going 4 for 6. So if that's any indication of what a day off will do for John Peck, well, we'll see what today looks like for him. The 0-2 pitch is outside. John, who was second in the West Coast League yesterday in hits. Ahead of him was Kobe Morales, and Kobe got some distance ahead of John with 4 more hits. John Peck, despite not playing yesterday, remains in second place in the West Coast League in hits. He has 28 on the year. 1-2 pitch, a sliced foul. Stays a 1-2 count with 2 outs, nobody on base. Ridgefield scoring 2 runs on a home run by Kobe Morales. Just launching it over the right field fence. He hit this 2 doubles yesterday down the right field line, kind of top spun it over the first baseman into the corner. Hit 1 on a fastball, 1 on a curve, then hit the other double down the left center power alley on a fastball. John Peck fouls another one off and stays alive, 1-2. So Caden Connor, the first player to score today, got on board via a 2-out bunt, where the first 2 players got out. It seemed like it might be a quiet first inning, and then a bunt gets Caden Connor on base, and then a home run. How's that for small ball turned big ball? 1-2 pitches, fouled again by John Peck, who stays alive. He had a 12-pitch at-bat earlier this summer, and he's now fouled off 3 pitches in a row. J.D. Callahan having to work through the Ridgefield lineup here in the first inning. 15 runs yesterday, and something seems to happen after Ridgefield scores 1 run in a ball game. Breaking ball swung on and missed by John Peck, and the inning is over here in the first. But Ridgefield has scored 1 run in 2 separate games this season. They have proceeded to score double digits both times the game after. In fact, they went double digits for 3 straight games the first time around. Right now, it was 1 run 2 days ago, then 15 runs yesterday, and they're on pace for double digits today through 1 inning. We head to the second. It's the Raptors 2 and the Bellingham Bells 0.
Dick Hanna Dealerships is proud to welcome everyone back to support our Ridgefield Raptors. Just in time for warm summer nights with family and friends, lounging on the lawn, or eating dogs in the stands. Feels good to be back. In business for over 70 years, Dick Hanna Dealerships is a local, family-owned business with locations in Vancouver, Kelso, and Portland. Choose from thousands of cars and 12 new car brands. Experience nice in the car business. Dick Hanna Dealerships. Believe in nice. Now play ball.
Join the Ridgefield Raptors for warm sunshine, great food, and exciting top-level college baseball at the Rourke. Bring your family, friends, neighbors, and coworkers for a relaxing night outdoors this season. Your group can welcome us on the Les Schwab left field platform, the Leonard Homes and Dick Hanna Grass Berms, or the First Centennial and Wellhaven Pet Health picnic areas. There's nothing like a Ridgefield Raptors summer baseball game. Get your tickets now at ridgefieldraptors.com. Go Raptors!
Back to the mound for the Ridgefield Raptors here in the top of the first inning. The Bats do not take a break here. Ridgefield has now scored in 9 innings in a row. They scored in all 8 innings yesterday. Didn't have to come to the bat in the bottom of the 9th, and now they have 1 more inning here today. They scored 2 in the first, and we're on to the second inning. 2-0 is the score. The right-hander back to the mound, and Gillis throws a ball to the first pitch to Charlie Somm at Stanford University, yet to go down to Palo Alto. He's an incoming freshman for the Cardinal, just finished out his high school career in Thousand Oaks, California. The 5'11", 180-pounder swings of the second pitch and bloops it foul down the right field line. 1-1 is the count. Ridgefield scoring 2 runs on a Kobe Morales homer in the first inning to right field. Kobe back at first base now for this defensive alignment for Ridgefield with Brad Norton at third, John Peck at short, Tanner Jocks at second, Kobe Morales at first, Reese Hernandez in left field, Micah McDowell in center, and Caden Connor in right field. Brad Priap getting the start behind the dish today for the first time in West Coast League play. 1-1 pitch from Brock Gillis. Fastball swung on and did not miss it, or did not get it. He did indeed miss it. It's 1-2 to Charlie Somm, who's hitting .231 in the year's 1 home run. That was on Tuesday, a 3-run bomb against Ridgefield. Went 1 for 4. Did not play yesterday. Back in the starting lineup today for the 17-year-old right-handed hitter from the Golden State. 1-2 pitch from Brock Gillis. It misses high. 2-2 is the count. Charlie Somm is familiar with Tafton Hensley, who's the designated hitter for Ridgefield today. They were playing together down in Los Angeles at one point. Took some live hitting practice at the Dodgers Stadium down in Chavez Ravine in L.A. as the pitch is outside 3-2. And that was a few years ago when Tafton Hensley came to the plate on Tuesday. Charlie Somm was the catcher, and at one point they kind of looked at each other, and Tafton said, "You look familiar. Where do I know you from?" And Charlie said, "I don't know. I don't know where you know me from." And they eventually did figure it out. The 3-2 pitch swung on and fouled. Somm stays alive, the leadoff man here in the second inning. 2-0 Raptors lead. Eventually they put 2 and 2 together after Hensley asked him where he played high school ball, and Charlie said he was from Thousand Oaks, and they figured it out and said, "Oh, I remember where we played together." And that's what the West Coast League will do. You'll play a lot of players from various colleges, and areas around the West Coast are all over. Players come from all over the country, and Tafton made a new connection, a reconnection. Charlie Somm grounds one toward short. John Peck dives, but can't quite get in front of it. Loses the cap as he dives for it, and lost the glasses as well. And it's a ground ball through the infield. Charlie Somm gets aboard for a second hit of the series. And the leadoff man is on base here in the second inning. Grayson Sterling to the plate. Sterling out of Gonzaga University, a sophomore for the Bulldogs, 21-year-old out of Boise, Idaho. Came over to the Evergreen State to play West Coast League baseball 2 years ago. In fact, played for the Ridgefield Raptors. And had a good series against the Bellingham Bells. Now 2 years later, he decides, I'm just going to wear a Bellingham Bells uniform and play for Bellingham, now playing against his former team. First pitch hits one well to left field. It's blooping foul and does drop a couple of yards wide of the left field line, and it's 0-1 to Grayson Sterling. But a good year for Ridgefield 2 years ago, and started out well in the very first game in that home series against Yakima Valley. Had a hit early on in that ball game, first hit of that contest, which meant Grayson Sterling went down as the first Raptors player in history with a base hit and first player to score a run for Ridgefield. Had 5 hits against Bellingham when they played the Bells later that summer. Now playing against the Bells, or playing against Ridgefield, and he hits one again foul on the left field side. Sterling has not had quite the summer yet for Bellingham. He's hitting just 115 on this summer, so Ridgefield seems to ignite hitters in some fashion that few other teams have been able to do. Ridgefield leading the league in most offensive categories, including runs, hits, doubles, RBIs, average, on base, slugging, all of it. Runner on first, nobody out for Bellingham. 0-2 pitch from Gillis is swung on, and did he tip it? He just got a piece of it, did Grayson Sterling, and stays alive. 0-2 still is the count to the 6'3", 185-pound left-hand hitter against right-hand pitcher in Brock Gillis. Brock has got a good arsenal. He's got a two-seam fastball and a four-seam fastball. He's been more used to the two-seamer, but he added the four-seamer more recently. He's got a slider and a changeup as well. Won't throw the breaking ball as much. Mainly a fastball guy. Throws a fastball outside. Ball one at 92 miles an hour from Brock Gillis. The two-seamer likes this. He's a right-handed pitcher, so against a left-handed batter, it'll have some life to it that runs away from the hitter, make it a little harder to hit. So the two-seamer has got some good action. Four-seamer has a little better spin rate on it. So we'll mix those two together and trying to work on the changeup and the slider and focus on those this summer to improve those. 1-2 pitch is swung on and hammered to right field. This one's going to take Caden Connor to the track, to the wall, and gone. Grayson Sterling, a two-run bomb. And both teams have two-run home runs in the last pair of half innings. This game is tied at 2-2. Grayson Sterling and Kobe Morales, each with two-run home runs today, both to similar parts of the ballpark. And Sterling with a home run against his former team to tie the game here in the top of the second inning. Both home runs coming after a single by their preceding teammate. And now with no outs here in the second inning, Brock Gillis will try to work through Ty Saunders, the shortstop out of University of Portland. First home run of the year for Grayson Sterling. And now Ty Saunders with the plate, bases empty, nobody out. Bottom of the top of the second. Saunders shows bunt and starts to run up the baseline as he was pulling the barrel back. Doesn't make contact. It is called a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 from Brock Gillis. Comes set out of the stretch. Right-hander deals 0-1 and misses low, ball 1. 1-1 the count to Ty Saunders. 2-2 is the score. Ridgefield, once they took the lead yesterday, never relinquished it. Bellingham got close to coming back. Today they tied it up, which they never did yesterday either. Never even made it even. A big swing and a miss from Saunders. Runs the count to 1-2 to the Anacortes, Washington native, University of Portland, hitting 169 on the year. Does have two homers for Ty Saunders. Left-hand hitting shortstop. Infield playing a bit shaded towards the lines. Outfield straight up here in Ridgefield. 1-2 pitch is just above the belt. 2-2 the count, with the wind blowing fairly steadily out towards right field and cooler temperatures here this week. Right now, right at 70 degrees at the moment. Sunset will be at 9:04. Cloudy day from Ridgefield. Should be partly cloudy for the next week or so, and temperatures topping out in the mid-80s. Blue towards the third baseman on one hop. Brad Norton makes a basket catch, throws to first, and just did get there in time for the ground out. Brad Norton running in on that grounder that did not get to him very fast, and on one bounce kind of took a short little hop and into the waiting glove of Brad Norton, and the Rutgers University infielder throws across for the out. Brad, who does not play much third base, did not play any this spring for Rutgers, mostly a shortstop. Played one scrimmage game at third and a little bit of summer ball a year or two ago, and mostly just shortstop. Maybe a little bit in high school. I think he's a junior year. Played some third base, but now he's getting some starts at third as the pitch inside to A.J. Davis. 8-hole hitter in this lineup. First time to the plate. He's hitting 170 on the summer. This series, he's 1 for 6. Plays for Lewis Clark State. 2-2 is the score. Top of the second inning here in Ridgefield. 1-0 pitch from Brock Gillis with one out. It is a called strike on the outside corner to A.J. Davis. 1-1 to the Clarkston, Washington native. 6'2", 180-pound third baseman, right-hand hitter against right-hand pitcher. And Brock Gillis, who comes set out of the stretch, his hands belt high, throws a fastball, called a strike, two-seamer at 88 miles an hour. And it's 1-2 from Brock Gillis. Top of the second inning here from Ridgefield. The Raptors have played 20 games in the season. They've won a dozen of them, and threatening the lead that the Corvallis Knights have here in the Southern Division. The 1-2 pitch from Gillis swung on and missed, and he gets his second strikeout of the ball game here in the second inning. 2 down here in the second. Brings up Emilio Corona, the left fielder and ninth hitter in the lineup. Also at a University of Washington, so a pair of teammates from UW facing off against each other. Corona comes from San Luis Obispo and plays for the Huskies. Brock Gillis comes from Everett, Washington, and plays for the Huskies. Brock himself was a Washington State fan growing up. His older brother went to Wazoo. He himself is watching football games from Martin Stadium in Washington, at Washington State campus. First pitch to his college teammate Corona is called a strike. Now Brock is in the transfer portal, so he'll be done at University of Washington, where he's headed. I'll let him announce that when he has the wherewithal to do so, but for now, he's just looking for a new school. He's ahead 0-1 to Corona, and a breaking ball is called for a strike. 0-2 the count from Brock Gillis. 2 outs, nobody on. Did give up the 2-run home run this inning, but still just ties the score. Bellingham yet to take a lead this series since the first game when they won 7-1. No comebacks in either game this series. Both teams jumping out to a lead and holding on to it. 0-2 pitch will hit over the second baseman, jocks into right field. And Caden Connor plays it on a hop for a 2-out single. And it brings up the top of the order, and Daniel Jernan, who walked in the first inning on 4 pitches. Brock Gillis has a chance to do something better here against the Lower Columbia College Red Devil. How about the deke yesterday from Caden Connor? Late in the ball game when there was a runner on first and nobody out, and there was a blooper towards Caden Connor out in right field. And obviously with the runner on first, you got to force out at second, but if the ball's caught, then runner would go back to first. The ball down low on the first pitch from Gillis. 1-0 to Daniel Jernan. Top of the second inning, a tie score at 2-2. So the fly ball went Caden Connor's way, and he knew it early that it was going to land in front of him. He did not have a chance to catch it, but the runner at first for Bellingham couldn't tell exactly. He turned around and tried to watch the right fielder. This ground ball to short. John Peck fields, and he'll throw to first and in time to get the out. And the inning is over. Caden Connor, who played that one on a hop, but held his hand out like, I got it, I'm going to catch it. And then knowing the whole time he wouldn't, but he played it on the bounce through to second, got the force out on the runner at first, who was made to look foolish, even though it's a tough play for the runner. I mean, he doesn't know where that ball is. It's tough to track. And he got thrown out at second base. Now this time, it's a ground out. John Peck throws to Kobe Morales, and that ends the inning. 2 runs in for the Bells on 3 hits in the frame. We head to the bottom of the second inning. It's the Bells and the Raptors tied at 2.
A lot has changed in Clark County since C-Tran began service in 1981. We've changed with it. 30 bus routes, 2 bus rapid transit projects, and millions of rides later, C-Tran has grown into an award-winning transit system serving Clark County, including the city limits of Ridgefield. Please join C-Tran in celebrating an amazing 40 years serving you, our community, with activities happening in 2021. Look for details at c-tran.com, and thank you for 40 great years.
Ridgefield Main Street thanks you for supporting the Raptors and downtown, the heart of Ridgefield. Spend the moolah you win at the game at downtown shops and restaurants. Upcoming events include Main Street Day, C-Tran Shuttle Downtown Tailgate, and the Friday Night Flicks Outdoor Film Series. We are a nonprofit organization dedicated to preserving the cultural heritage of downtown Ridgefield while advocating for its future. More information at ridgefieldmainstreet.com and find us on Facebook at Ridgefield Main Street. We'll see you downtown, and go Raptors!
Welcome back to the Ridgefield Outdoor Recreation Complex. I'm Josh Warden. Happy to have you with us on the Raptors live stream. Bottom of the second inning here from Ridgefield. It's a 2-score tie. 2-2 is the mark right now between the Bellingham Bells and the Ridgefield Raptors, who bring up Brad Norton to lead off this bottom of the second inning. J.D. Callahan back to the mound and throws off-speed ball 1 to Brad Norton, who has started 2 games this year. This is his 3rd time in the starting lineup. He has doubled each time he's made a start. He's 2 for 9 on the series. Takes a ball down low. 2-0 from J.D. Callahan, who gave up a 2-run home run to Kobe Morales in the first inning. And so that got Ridgefield up 2-0. Tied it up, did Bellingham in the top of the second. Norton takes a big cut and fouls it into the glove. And first strike of the at-bat. So tie score, bottom of the second inning. Brad Norton at the plate to lead off with a 2-1 count. First 3 starts of the year out of Pleasanton, California. Norton sprays one foul on the first base side. 6'1", 185. On to Rutgers University. Come back and plays West Coast League baseball here in Ridgefield. And they like his bat in the lineup, and he's a really solid defender. Playing him at third base of late. 2-2 pitch, breaking ball. He hits it off the hands to the right side. The second baseman, Hamakawa, runs over, makes the grab, and throws to first for the out. And 1 away here in the bottom of the second inning. Tanner Jocks will come to the plate, hitting .288 on the year. He steps in with 1 out, nobody on base. Bottom of the second, tie score. Jocks has been not only a good hitter, with a hit in most games this year, a batting average of .288, which is pretty good for a guy who's been in the 9-hole a lot of this year, shortstop / second baseman, reliable hitter, one of the better batting averages on the team most of this year. Takes a swing and misses it, but it's been the walks of late that Tanner Jocks has made a name for himself. And it wasn't always that way this summer. He walked a decent amount, not especially high. 0-1 pitch misses. Oh, no, it did get in there on the breaking ball. 0-2 to Tanner Jocks. He had 6 walks through the first 15 games, and then walked 4 times the next game, then 2 times, then 1 time, and then 2 times. He walked 9 times in a 4-game span. He takes up and in, ball 1. 1 and 2 is the count, 1 out. Nobody on. So 9 walks in 4 games, and I asked him, Tanner, what changed there? What in the world happened? And he said, honestly, it's just coincidental. I don't think there's really all that much to it. 1-2 pitches outside 2-2. He did say sometimes he'll get ahead 0-2, and the pitcher just kind of loses him, trying to get really fine with painting the corners. And J.D. Callahan risking doing that same thing. He got ahead 0-2 to Tanner Jocks, and now the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. J.D. Callahan out of the windup, the right-hander out of UCSB deals, swung on and missed, and Jocks does not draw a walk this time. He goes down on strikes, 2 outs in the second inning. And that'll bring up Bradley Priap for his first at-bat in the West Coast League. He has played once in the Raptors uniform, but it was in a non-league game against the Nighthawks of Northwest Star Academy. So this basically is his debut, and his first time at the plate right now. Really nice guy, Bradley Priap. Easy to get along with, just joined the team a couple weeks ago. First pitch to Bradley is swung on and fouled back. 2 outs and nobody on. Bottom of the second inning, tie score. Priap, who was born in Stockton, California, and then grew up in San Diego, and then moved back to Stockton partway through his adolescent years, and then played at Ohlone College in Fremont, and then is in the middle of transferring. He's headed this year to Radford University out in Virginia. 0-1 pitch to Bradley's hit hard to right field. Coming in is the right fielder Sterling, and Grayson makes the catch a few steps away from where he started, and that is a 3-up, 3-down inning for the Bellingham Bells. We are through 2 complete frames here in Ridgefield. It remains a tie score. The Bells 2 and the Raptors 2.
This is WSU Vancouver, Southwest Washington's only 4-year research university. Whether in person or via distance delivery, WSU Vancouver offers high-quality education and an employer-respected degree. You'll get a small school feel and the kind of place where you know you matter. Here, you'll get personalized education that brings out the best in you and inspires you to achieve your highest goals. Now, what are you waiting for? Apply today.
The Ridgefield Raptors are thrilled to reunite with fans and enjoy summer baseball again. Join us for America's favorite pastime. The Raptors are following state guidelines for spectator events and ask for your patience as we prepare for exciting West Coast League play. Please be courteous to our staff, fans, and players as we celebrate the return of your Ridgefield Raptors this summer. Let's make it a great season at the Rourke. Get your tickets now at ridgefieldraptors.com. Go Raptors!
To the third inning here from the Ridgefield Outdoor Recreation Complex. Final game of this series. The Ridgefield Raptors 12-8 on the year, winning yesterday by 5 runs, and a chance to take their 5th series of the season. This is the 7th series so far this summer. There are 8 series in each half of the season through the first half, with Corvallis leading. They could lock up a playoff berth, but Ridgefield in the mix, and we will go into the series between the Knights and the Raptors without knowing which team has taken the first half championship. Brock Gillis back to the mound for the Raptors to start out the top of the third inning. Yugo Hamakawa to the plate, and Yugo takes a swing and a miss. Yugo grounded into a double play in the first inning. No chance to do that here as he leads off in the third. He's had 2 hits each game in this series, 4 for 9 overall, 3 RBIs yesterday for the native of Tokyo, Japan. Left-hand hitter against right-hand pitcher and Brock Gillis. The 0-1 is above the belt, 1-1. Tie score, top of the third inning. Just starting out this one, high-scoring game yesterday, lower scoring game Tuesday, especially relative for Ridgefield standards, a team that is far and away leading the West Coast League in most offensive categories. Inside from Brock Gillis. 2-1 the count to Yugo Hamakawa, who's first on the team with a .298 batting average, and he's on a 4-game hitting streak. 2 balls, 1 strike from Brock Gillis, who comes set. Priap sets up on the outside of the plate. Here comes Gillis, and just off, then gets the call on the outer black. Evens the count at 2-2. Talked with Bradley Priap before this game about framing pitches and how he was instructed, especially on balls down in the zone, as he'll set up on the outside again, and the 2-2 pitch swung on and fouled. Priap, who's catching this game, has been taught differently later on in his baseball career, as he's played 2 years now in college, headed on to Radford University for his 3rd year. And not just him, but catchers in general is a big shift in philosophy in terms of defensive approach for catchers. 2-2 pitch cut on and missed by Hamakawa. And Brock Gillis has struck out one batter in each inning. He gets the leadoff man here in the 3rd. 1 down in the 3rd inning. He did not get the leadoff man in the 1st or 2nd innings. He improves here, getting a strikeout to open the 3rd. And Luis Aviles to the plate. A tie score here from Ridgefield. 2 runs apiece for the Bellingham Bells and the Ridgefield Raptors. And the rubber match of this series. Gillis coming set out of the stretch, and the right-hander deals. Hit high into right field. It'll get out of reach for Caden Connor. 0-1 the count to Luis Aviles. Bradley Priap and many other catchers now working more beneath the ball in terms of framing pitches down in the zone as opposed to holding the shoulder out, trying to get out in front of the pitch, catch it, and show it to the umpire, making it clear. But instead now it seems to work better for Priap and a lot of his catching counterparts as he takes one in the dirt. 1-1's the count to Luis Aviles, working from underneath the ball and bringing the mitt up and working up into the zone to try to frame pitches down at the bottom. And he and many other catchers going to that format much more commonly these days. And as he puts it, it just works a lot better. Get a lot more strikes called in that part of the zone. And that one is called a strike to Aviles. 1-2 the count from Brock Gillis. 1 out, nobody on. A tie score in the top of the 3rd. Also sort of a shift in terms of framing pitches on the inside and outside part of the zones. When he was growing up and playing catcher, he was always taught to kind of turn the wrist inside to frame it, and now it's more a shoulder movement, just completely bringing the mitt in, using the shoulder and holding the wrist more intact. And he frames one in the outside corner. It's a called 3rd strike. Bradley Priap holds on for the putout, and it's another strikeout for Gillis, who has struck out 3 of the last 4, 2 in a row, and 2 outs here in the 3rd. Good frame for Bradley Priap right on the outside black, and gets the strike called. Strikeout looking on Aviles. Cole Hinkleman, the next batter, designated hitter out of Stanford, takes a partial swing, and it's called a strike from Priap. He continues to frame well and get the calls from Andrew Mervin, home plate umpire. As for pitches in the upper part of the zone, trying to frame it downward and get the strike calls, he was taught to slam dunk it, he says, just turn it downwards as quick as possible. Sterling hammers one to deep center field. Micah McDowell going back, and this one is out of here. A 2-out solo home run for Cole Hinkleman, his first home run of the year. And after Brock Gillis got 2 strikeouts to open up this inning, he concedes a homer to right center field. And the Bellingham Bells take their first lead of the ball game. It's 3-2. With Hinkleman's solo shot just to the right of the batter's eye in center. And Bellingham takes a 3-2 advantage here in the 3rd inning. Brings up Charlie Somm to the plate. Two runs last inning, 1 run this frame for the Bellingham Bells. Take a 3-2 lead. Brock Gillis trying to get 1 more out and close out in the 3rd. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed by Charlie Somm, who singled and later scored in the 2nd inning. All runs in this ballgame so far have come via the long ball. 2-run home run by Kobe Morales in the 1st inning. 2-run home run by Grayson Sterling in the 2nd. And a solo home run by Cole Hinkleman here in the 3rd. Out of the stretch comes Brock Gillis, gets a called strike. He's ahead 0-2 to Charlie Somm. So the Bellingham Bells lead 3-2 here in this rubber match, but Ridgefield scoring 15 runs yesterday. You feel a 1-run deficit is palatable for the Raptors. Top of the 3rd inning, Gillis throws up and in on the 0-2 pitch. 2 outs, nobody on base in the top of the 3rd. Charlie Somm, the incoming freshman at Stanford University, against outgoing freshman from University of Washington and Brock Gillis. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Charlie Somm. Gillis throws outside. 2-2 is the count. The infield playing straight up. Outfield also in normal positioning here to Charlie Somm. Right-hand hitter, 17-year-old out of Thousand Oaks, California. 2 balls, 2 strikes from Brock Gillis, and it's laced up the middle and over the head of Gillis. He had to avoid it, and the pitcher got out of the way to avoid the line drive. It goes into center field. And just good to see Gillis didn't get hit by that line drive back at the middle. He's all good, and a single to extend this inning. Still 2 outs in the third. Charlie Somm aboard for a second single in as many innings. And Grayson Sterling to the plate, who scored Charlie Somm on a 2-run home run last inning. Similarly, Charlie Somm on first base and Grayson Sterling to the plate. 2-run home run last inning off of Brock Gillis, but Brock a chance for redemption here off of Grayson Sterling. 2 outs in the frame, and the first pitch misses away. 1-0 is the count here in the top of the third inning. Bellingham 3, Ridgefield 2 to this point. When the Raptors come to the plate next inning, it'll be Micah McDowell leading off. He had a home run, a solo shot yesterday. See if he can start something in the bottom of the third inning. Brock Gillis throws the 1-0 pitch, gets the call. 1-1's the count here in the top of the third. 3-2's the score, Bellingham on top. Grayson Sterling out of Gonzaga University, former Raptor himself. And at the plate against Brock Gillis, left-hand hitter. Good frame on Grayson Sterling, 6'3", 185. That was his first hit this series with the home run last inning. Swings and misses the 1-1. He went 0 for 4 on Tuesday, did not play yesterday, and back in the lineup today. And he rewards the decision by Adam Gieslin, his head coach, with a home run in his first at-bat. Grayson Sterling holding the bat aloft and readying 1 ball and 2 strikes from Brock Gillis. Looks at the runner at first. Looks back to home plate with 2 outs. Here comes Brock Gillis. It's sprayed foul up into the netting on the third base side. In front of the crowd that's seeing Ridgefield baseball for the final time this week. A road series down in Corvallis this weekend. Although actually it is split in half, or split in third, I suppose, as the final game of that series is back here at the Rourke. That's on 4th of July. Split the series since Ridgefield didn't have a 4th of July game in 2019, and so originally that series is going to be all in Corvallis, but they got a 4th of July game here in Ridgefield for the first time. Fastball behind the barrel of Grayson Sterling, who strikes out swinging, and Brock Gillis strikes out the side here on the third. He does allow a single and a home run in the middle, but he does get 3 punch-outs in the frame. He's up to 5 strikeouts through the first 3 innings. We head to the bottom of the third as the Bells 3 and the Ridgefield Raptors 2.
At Clark Public Utilities, we know you depend on electricity every day. And even though our offices remain closed, we're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, by phone, online, and email. The past year has brought changes to many in our community, with lost jobs or reduced working hours, disrupted childcare, and the challenge of teaching the kids. If you've been financially impacted by the pandemic and can't pay your utility bill, call us or send an email right away. Eligibility for payment assistance has been expanded so more households may qualify. Through it all, we're always here to provide you with safe and reliable service, and we're ready to help. Clark Public Utilities, ranked highest in customer satisfaction among residential mid-size utilities in the West by J.D. Power, 13 years in a row. For J.D. Power 2020 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Clark Public Utilities, we're always here.
McDowell to the plate to open up the bottom of the third inning against J.D. Callahan, UCSB 20-year-old, who pitched a scoreless inning, a 1-2-3 frame in the second inning, but he did give up a 2-run home run to Kobe Morales in the first. Ridgefield has since conceded the lead. It's 3-2. McDowell takes a swing at the first offering and doesn't get it. 0-1 the count to the Oregon State Beaver against J.D. Callahan, who plays for UCSB. The righty deals, swung on and missed. And it's no balls and 2 strikes to Micah McDowell, just starting out the bottom of the third inning. And the pitch down low to Micah. J.D. Callahan plays for UCSB and plays for Andrew Checketts, their head coach, and very familiar with Oregon. Used to coach for University of Oregon and played at Oregon State. Micah McDowell playing for OSU and facing J.D. Callahan, who pitches for UCSB, and Andrew Checketts, the head coach. 2-2 pitch is down low, full count now to Micah McDowell, who had his first extra base hit of the summer yesterday, a home run to right center field. Hits most of his home runs to right center and right. He says, I don't know if I've ever went oppo in a home run, and got that one actually pretty close to straightaway center, just over to the right of the batter's eye, and asked him if he knew if he got it off the bat. He says, yeah, I did. He wasn't bragging, but he's acknowledged, yeah, I knew right away. He hits this one to the third baseman and wide of the diving A.J. Davis, who cannot get in front of it. It's a ground ball into left field for a leadoff base hit, and Micah McDowell improves upon his .261 batting average. He's on first here in the third inning. And Tafton Hensley to the plate. Both of these two guys in order. McDowell and Hensley have been working a lot on their swing this summer. I mean, all guys are making tweaks here and there, but McDowell and Hensley in particular have been spending some particular conversations with Nick Allen and Chris Cota working on their swing. Hensley bunts in front of home plate, and it's called foul. Hensley sprinting down to first thinking it was a fair ball, and he must have hit off his foot or his leg, and it's called a foul ball and a bunt that was in between home plate and the mound, fairly well positioned, and Hensley, who's got great wheels, was booking it down first baseline, but he will have to jog back home with an 0-1 count. Hensley got aboard on a bunt on the very first pitch of the bottom of the first inning Tuesday, and later scored in that inning, and now tries to bunt again for a hit. Hensley kind of reworking his swing. He has hit 3 home runs in the last 4 starts for Tafton. Micah McDowell, a home run yesterday and a single here. He's on first. 0-1 pitch in the dirt. A good block by the catcher, Aviles. And it's 1-1 to Tafton Hensley. Nobody out. Runner on first. Bellingham leading 3-2 in this contest. Right now, the Corvallis Knights playing a big game down there in Bend. That has big implications. Even if the worst-case scenario happens today, which is Ridgefield loses and Corvallis wins, which we've still got a lot of baseball to be played, both games in the third inning, even if that happens where Corvallis wins and Ridgefield loses, there would be a 3-game margin, and Ridgefield wouldn't be out of it with 1 series remaining against Corvallis. If they swept Corvallis, they would win the first half. They'd get the tiebreaker with head-to-head. Another pitch in the dirt, and Callahan gets behind Hensley, 2-1. Runner on first, nobody out. Right now, Corvallis leading the Bend Elks 3-1 in the third inning. Walla Walla leading Cowlitz 1-0. Port Angeles over Yakima Valley 2-0 early. The 2-1 pitch misses. It's 3-1 to Tafton Hensley out of College of the Canyons. Yesterday went 4 for 6 with a double, a home run, 3 RBIs. On the series, he's 6 for 10 with 2 homers. The 20-year-old has a 3-1 pitch upcoming, grounds it into left field, past the shortstop, and another single here for the Raptors. 2 straight hits to open up this inning. Still nobody out, and Reese Hernandez to the plate. Yesterday, Ridgefield had a lot of extra base hits. There's still a lot of singles, too. It's just a lot of all types of hits, 3 home runs, 4 doubles. They had more extra base hits yesterday than Bellingham had hits total. That was 10 extra base hits, actually 7 doubles, 3 home runs yesterday for Ridgefield hitters. Runners in first and second, nobody out. Reese Hernandez at the plate. He shows bunt and laces it down the third baseline. Well placed. The third baseman Davis coming in, throws to first. It is in time to get Hernandez. It is still a successful sac bunt. Now the runners on second and third. Hernandez just barely getting beat by the throw on a well-placed bunt down the third baseline. And Davis made a nice play. And Hernandez will get credit for a sac bunt. Hensley to second base, and Micah McDowell to third. For those watching on YouTube, just getting the camera situated back up, should have that online. Runners on second and third, Caden Connor to the plate. Caden, who's hitting .250 on the year with 10 doubles. The next three batters in the order, the 3, 4, and 5-hole hitters, have a combined 28 doubles on the year, which is more than any other trio around the West Coast League. And I know that because it's not all that hard to tell. Two of them are tied for first, and the other one's in third. Caden Connor takes a strike, 0-1. Caden has 10 doubles, and Morales with 10. They're tied for first, the two teammates atop the West Coast League leaderboard. John Peck, the next hitter, with 8 doubles. And they're the next three players at the plate, starting with Caden Connor, who's behind 0-1. Infield playing back, 1 out. Corner infielders even with the bag. No balls and 1 strike. Connor sprays one backwards of home plate. 0-2 the count to the Cal State Fullerton outfielder. In the finale versus Yakima Valley earlier, well, not earlier this month, I guess last month now is correct. But in the finale against Yakima Valley a couple weeks ago, Caden had 5 RBIs. Now he's in the finale against Bellingham and has an RBI opportunity here. He had a bunt single in the first inning. We have not seen a squeeze play at any point this summer for Ridgefield. 0-2 pitch to Caden's hit up the middle to the second baseman. Hamakawa fields. He'll go to first. This will score a run. Good pick by the first baseman, Som, to get the out. And coming down the line to score is Micah McDowell. So his leadoff single pays dividends. Tafton Hensley into third base. Good work by Caden Connor. An RBI ground out. And this ball game is tied at 3-3. Kobe Morales to the plate. In his last 7 at-bats, dating back to yesterday, plus the 1 at-bat today, he's 5 for 7, 3 doubles and a home run. Here's the first pitch to Morales, takes a cut at it and misses it. Morales says he's most comfortable off the fastball so far. He did have 1 double on a curveball yesterday. It's change-ups when he's facing right-handers that are the toughest. He says when there's a change-up, it's hard for me not to swing. But fastballs, breaking balls, anything from left-handers I feel okay with. The change-up against right-handers, as much as usually the batter has the advantage when it's lefty versus righty, right-handers throwing change-ups are hard because it tails away from Morales. 0-1 pitch is swung on and fouled back. 0-2 the count. Caden Connor got behind 0-2. Shortened up and did good work, just getting something in play on the ground. Scored a run. Tie ball game here in the bottom of the third. Both teams scoring 1 run in the third inning. Ridgefield finally the first team to score a run on a method other than a home run. And some relatively small ball, 2 singles, a sac bunt, and then a ground ball to score it. Here's the 0-2 to Morales, high and away from J.D. Callahan. 1-2 the count to Kobe, who is now on a 5-game hitting streak, including that 2-run home run in his first at-bat today. Now at the plate the second time of the ball game, bottom of the third inning. Gave Ridgefield a lead earlier, trying to do it again. Reaches out and pokes one foul on a pitch that was outside, but hey, you got a piece of it, so the at-bat continues either way. Reach all the way out and just barely nicked that one off the end of the barrel. 1-2 is the count, 2 outs. Runner on third. And Tafton Hensley. Kobe Morales at the plate. J.D. Callahan out of the stretch. Here comes the Bellingham Bell right-hander. It chips behind the catcher, and Tafton Hensley will sprint home, and he will score standing up. A wild pitch that gives Ridgefield the lead. It's 4-3, and Tafton Hensley, the speedster, sprints down to home and gets there without a throw. The Raptors reclaim the lead, and Hensley scores from third on the play. And Ridgefield takes the lead back here in the bottom of the third. Morales now at the plate with the bases empty. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Callahan throws. It's hit on the right side of the infield. Chopper to the first baseman. He'll run to first, and a collision at first base, and it's called an out. The first baseman, Som, had to run back to the bag. The pitcher was not there in time, so he had to take it himself, but his momentum took him right into the path of the runner, Morales, and they collided at the bag. Som got there first, and they both went pinwheeling over the bag. They both get back up. Som jogs into the dugout. Morales a little bit slower, but he seems to be okay. Morales himself the first baseman, so he can just wait there closer to the bag and have his glove delivered to him. I think Kobe's okay. I hope he's okay. And a dangerous play there at first, but the out does end the inning. Well, we head to the 4th inning. Ridgefield scores 2 runs to take a lead. And we head to the top of the fourth. Brock Gillis returning to the mound. Or excuse me, it's going to be his college teammate. Or is that Gillis there? No, that's Gillis, 45. Thomas Blayhouse wears 44, so it's a little hard to see at first. And they kind of have similar builds and both from the same school. Anyways, we'll keep it right here during the break and through the next inning. Thanks for joining us on the Raptors live stream. While we have a chance, let's take a look around the scoreboard. Right here, it's 4-3, Raptors leading. Now the Bend Elks scoring a couple runs to close the gap on the Corvallis Knights. It's 3-2, Corvallis leading. Generally speaking, Ridgefield wants the Bend Elks to win that game to have a closer shot at winning the first half title, although who knows what Bend could do. They're on a 4-game winning streak, so if you come down the end of the season and you're just shooting for the kind of the wild card spot, which is the team with the next best overall record outside of the team that won the first half, let's say it's the same team that wins the first and second half, well then the team with the second best overall record would get the second playoff berth. Now let's say Ben makes a run for it and is fighting Ridgefield for that second spot, then Ridgefield may look back and say, I actually wish the Corvallis Knights won that game. But either way, Ridgefield is somewhat in control of their own destiny here if they can do some good work against Bellingham and the Knights. All right, first pitch here of the fourth inning is a called strike from Brock Gillis. First batter he's facing here in the top of the fourth inning is the left-hand hitter in Ty Saunders. 0-1 the count from Brock Gillis. Just starting out the top of the fourth inning, a 4-3 lead for Ridgefield. The right-hander deals down low. And ball one to Ty Saunders, who grounded out to third base in the second inning. On the series, he's 1 for 6 with a pair of walks. Infield and outfield playing straight up. The wind dying down a touch. Still blowing out towards right field slightly. 1-1 pitch from Gillis runs inside off the shoelaces and does clip the foot of Ty Saunders. And he will get down to first for the first hit by pitch that either team has thrown today. Saunders seems to be okay. Grimaced a little bit at first, but he jogs down unimpeded after the hit by pitch. A.J. Davis to the plate, who struck out in the second inning. Brock Gillis, who has struck out 5 batters so far in this ball game. Gave up 2 walks in the first inning, has not walked a man since then, but a hit by pitch to open up the fourth inning, tying run for Bellingham on the base paths. Infield into double play depth, and A.J. Davis to the plate. First pitch is swung on and hit to left center field. Micah McDowell going back. The center fielder has a play in front of the warning track and makes the grab for out number 1. Emilio Corona to the plate. 9-hole hitter at the University of Washington, faces his college teammate for a second time. He got a single off of Brock Gillis in the second inning. Yesterday had a home run, 2 RBIs, 2 runs. Is now 2 for 6 on the series. He's hitting 163 on the year. Out of San Luis Obispo. Right-hand hitter steps in, infield remaining in double play depth with 1 out in the frame now. Top of the fourth inning. Ridgefield leading 4-3. Gillis from the stretch. The righty kicks and throws. Swung on and missed it. Did Corona. Strike 1 from Brock Gillis. Each game so far, Brock has gone 2 innings. Struggled a bit in the second with 2 runs allowed. Then 1 more in the third, but he comes back out for the fourth inning, which has easily been his longest appearance so far this summer. The 19-year-old out of Everett, Washington. Out of the stretch and ahead, 0-1. The pitch is swung on and missed, and actually got a piece of it, but into the glove of Bradley Priap. 0-2 is the count to Emilio Corona. So far in the ballgame, 5 hits for Bellingham, 4 hits for Ridgefield. But the Raptors leading 4-3. A couple days ago, as Ridgefield out hitting Bellingham but losing. Right now, that script is flipped with Bellingham out hitting Ridgefield, but they're down by a run. Pitch just below the knees on the 0-2. And Corona takes confidently and stays alive with that ball called down, ball 1. 1 out, 1 on. 1-run lead for the Raptors here in the top of the fourth. Brock Gillis takes a look over at first base where Ty Saunders is taking a decent-sized lead there. Here's the pitch from Brock Gillis. Swung on and missed, and he gets the better of his college teammate. gets some redemption after allowing a single from Corona in the second inning. He strikes him out on 4 pitches here in the 4th. 2 outs in the frame. Daniel Jernan to the plate. 0 for 1 with a walk. From Cloverdale, British Columbia. Was a 3-sport athlete at Lord Tweedsmuir High School. Now he plays in Longview, Washington for Lower Columbia College. The 5'11", 205-pound center fielder to the plate with 2 outs and 1 on. Here comes Brock Gillis, and the breaking ball is in for a strike. Outfield playing straight up to Daniel Jernan, who does have 3 home runs on the year, but none in the last couple weeks. Infield playing more towards the second base bag. 0-1 pitch is called a strike from Brock Gillis. Tanner Jocks, the second baseman, edging towards second against the right-hand hitter and Daniel Jernan. So Jocks expecting a ground ball to go up the middle or left side of the infield to a pull hitter in Jernan. No balls and 2 strikes from Brock Gillis and 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Here comes Brock. A fastball is blocked by Bradley Priap. Ball 1 from Brock. 4-3 is the lead for the Ridgefield Raptors. Trying to get redemption after losing the Portland series when the Raptors won the first game of that series and lost the next 2. Now they're trying to do the opposite. They lost on Tuesday, but won yesterday, and they're leading today, albeit just by 1 run. Top of the 4th inning, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gillis throws, the runner's going, the ball is down low, the throw down to second, not in time. And a stolen base for Ty Saunders, who got aboard as the leadoff man on a hit by pitch, and then he watched a fly out and a strikeout. And now in the 3rd batter, he tries to steal, and in there successfully. The ball down low puts the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tying run and scoring position now for the Bells. Daniel Jernan at the plate. Brock Gillis pausing on the mound in the stretch. Now comes to the plate, 2-2 pitch hit down the right field line. If that one stays fair, it'll score a run. It does land in fair territory. This ball game is tied. Jernan was thinking about a triple. He rounds second. He'll get to third. No throw to third. It's a run-scoring 3-bagger for Daniel Jernan. And this game is tied at 3-3. First triple of the year for any Bellingham Bell player this whole summer. And Jernan into third base for a 2-out triple, an RBI for Daniel. And that scores Ty Saunders from second base. It's 4-4. And Chris Cota will come out to chat with Brock Gillis on the mound here in the top of the 4th. Bellingham scoring 2 runs in the second inning, 1 run in the 3rd, 1 run here in the 4th. Ridgefield scored 2 last inning to go from a 1-run deficit to a 1-run lead, but now that lead erased, and the go-ahead run on third base for Bellingham. And we will see a pitching change here as Brock Gillis exits in the top of the 4th. New pitcher coming in for the Ridgefield Raptors here in the top of the 4th inning. And it looks like the new thrower is Jacob Acosta out of Cal State Bakersfield. We'll tell you more about Jacob when we return. It's the Ridgefield Raptors 4, the Bellingham Bells 4, in the top of the 4th inning.
Warmer weather is here, and what better way to enjoy a summer day than with a trip to the ballpark to watch exciting Ridgefield Raptors baseball. Play ball! Don't miss the action on the diamond as the Ridgefield Raptors battle other Western League rivals for the championship. This safe outdoor event is a perfect outing for you and your friends. Peace Health is a proud sponsor of the Ridgefield Raptors, with a team of medical experts on deck to provide your family the care you need. Treat your family to an exciting night at the ballpark and make it part of your healthy, active summer. Peace Health and Ridgefield Raptors Baseball, a great double play.
The Ridgefield Raptors are thrilled to reunite with fans and enjoy summer baseball again. Join us for America's favorite pastime. The Raptors are following state guidelines for spectator events and ask for your patience as we prepare for exciting West Coast League play. Please be courteous to our staff, fans, and players as we celebrate the return of your Ridgefield Raptors this summer. Let's make it a great season at the Rourke. Get your tickets now at ridgefieldraptors.com. Go Raptors!
Similar to yesterday, we have seen no shortage of runs scored. It's lower scoring compared to yesterday when we saw 25 runs scored between these two teams, 15 of them by the Raptors. Today it's a tie score, 4 apiece. Bellingham threatening to reclaim the lead, which they just gave up last half inning. Go-ahead run on third base for the Bells. Yugo Hamakawa to the plate and Jacob Acosta to the mound. His second appearance here for the Raptors this summer comes out of Cal State Bakersfield. He's gone 2 innings on the year. His one appearance against Portland gave up 2 earned runs, 4 hits, 1 strikeout, no walk. And now he's on the mound with 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning. Acosta out of the stretch, and the righty throws to Hamakawa, swung on and missed. And Acosta ahead 0-1. Brock Gillis exits after going 3 2/3 innings. He is responsible for the runner on third, gave up 4 earned runs. And if Acosta can get out of this, Ridgefield to come up to the bat in the bottom of the 4th with the game still tied. 0-1 pitches hit foul at the plate. And Hamakawa is quickly behind 0-2. He grounded into a double play in the 1st inning and then led off the 3rd inning with a strikeout. He's now at the plate in the 4th with the runner on third base. He's on a 4-game hitting streak, including a pair of multi-hit games so far this series. The 0-2 to Hamakawa is down and away. Ball 1 from Jacob Acosta, 6'2" right-hander. Outfield playing straight up against Yugo Hamakawa. He was leading the team in batting average at .298, but today has not been his day yet. But plenty of time to turn that around, and an RBI would give Bellingham the lead. 1-2 pitch from Acosta is swung on and chopped over the mound. Going back to second base is Tanner Jocks. The throw to first is not in time, and a run scores. An infield single for Yugo Hamakawa. And that scores Daniel Jernan from third. The Bellingham Bells reclaim the lead, 5-4. Hamakawa on a 5-game hitting streak. Now Luis Aviles to the plate. Just a chopper that bounced in front of the mound. It summited the pitcher Acosta and went behind second base. And Tanner Jocks had a long run to go. His momentum taking him away from first base. And the throw on a bounce just not quite in time to get the left-hand hitting Hamakawa, who could exit the batter's box closer to first base and get there by a step. 2 outs, Aviles to the plate. First pitch swung on and strike 1 on Aviles. With a runner on first and 2 outs, Bellingham scoring 2 runs to cancel out the 2 runs that Ridgefield scored last inning. Bellingham has scored in 3 innings in a row. 5-4 is the score right now. Bellingham on top. Acosta with the 0-1 pitch, a fastball swung on and missed, and it's 0-2. Luis Aviles 0-for-1 with a walk. 5'11", 200-pounder out of Tulane University, playing his 3rd different position. First baseman on Tuesday, was the designated hitter yesterday, and the catcher today. With 2 outs and a runner on first, Acosta comes set with his hands at the belt. Here's the pitch, and it is in there for a called 3rd strike. And Acosta ends the inning on a strikeout looking. Bellingham does enough damage, however. They do put up 2 runs in the frame on 2 hits, and they take a 5-4 lead here in Ridgefield. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning.
Baseball is back, and Peace Health is excited to once again sponsor the Ridgefield Raptors as they vie for the West Coast League title. Raptors games make a great family outing. Bring the whole crew to the ballpark to enjoy a safe, fun outdoor event featuring the thrills of Raptors baseball. As the largest health provider in Clark County, Peace Health is ready to step up to the plate and keep your family in the game, whether it's a routine appointment or specialty emergency care. Peace Health and the Ridgefield Raptors, 2 great teams.
The Ridgefield Raptors are back, where the entire family can watch top-level college baseball players live at the Rourke. Now, kids 12 and under get in free with a paid adult for all Sunday afternoon Raptors games. Enjoy local Southwest Washington baseball with the whole family this summer. Sunday games are at 105 and are presented by Peace Health and the Columbian. Come cheer on your Ridgefield Raptors all season long. Get your tickets now at ridgefieldraptors.com. Go Raptors!
Game 3 of this series for the Ridgefield Raptors and the Bellingham Bells, winner of this themselves in good positioning here in the second half, or the home stretch of the first half of this West Coast League summer of 2021. Ridgefield neck and neck with Corvallis. Corvallis in the catbird seat, but the series between the Raptors and the Knights mean that basically whichever team wins that series could take the first half. That is, unless Corvallis wins today and Ridgefield loses, and then the Raptors would have to sweep Corvallis in the series that starts tomorrow. Now everything could switch, and then Ridgefield could be only one game behind Corvallis, but then if they win just one game, they would still have to win two. I mean, and they win also, the tiebreaker is big, because the first tiebreaker is the head-to-head, so you'd have to win that series. But we'll figure all that out depending on what scores happen today and how all these games go down. John Peck, the leadoff hitter in the bottom of the fourth inning. Bellingham taking a 5-4 lead. J.D. Callahan back on the mound. The starting pitcher gets ahead with a called strike to John Peck, who's the 5-hole hitter today. Has not been in that spot in the order yet this summer until today. He's 0-for-1 so far. 0-1 pitch is down. Ball 1 to John out of Pepperdine University. Tuesday went 1-for-4, then didn't play yesterday. Still second in the West Coast League in hits with 28. And he has a 1-ball, 1-strike pitch coming, and he takes for a strike outside corner, 1-2. The other part of getting the day off, not only getting some well-deserved rest for John Peck, who had not gotten a day off yet this summer, is just to make sure he wouldn't break a bat. He's leading the team in broken bats with 5 of them, and so no chance yesterday. Pitch way outside, 2-2. Actually, I shouldn't say no chance, because he still took BP yesterday, so I guess he could have broken one, but he didn't, so all good in that category. Using his 6th bat of the year, a new one he just bought recently, and he's got an even count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, leadoff man of the bottom of the 4th. Callahan winds and throws, swung on and missed, and John Peck is down swinging. One away here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Brad Norton to the plate. Third baseman who has started each game this series. His first 3 starts of the summer has gone 2 for 9 so far. 2 for 10 now with a ground out in the second inning. Pair of doubles on the series from Brad Norton. With 1 out and nobody on base, the Pleasanton, California native hits one off the hands and foul. 0-1 the count from J.D. Callahan, making his 3rd appearance on the year. It's been a fairly good one so far, although he has given up a 2-run home run in the first, and then a pair of RBIs, or 1 RBI last inning on a ground out, and then a wild pitch that scored a run. 0-1 pitch. Norton does go around on the offering up and inside. It's 0-2 now to Brad Norton. Callahan, who came in with a 2.7 ERA, part of a Bellingham staff that came into the series first in the league in earned run average. They've slipped down to 3rd in the league, with Ridgefield scoring 15 runs yesterday. The ball up high to Norton, 1-2. They also were leading the league in batting average against, and they slipped all the way to 5th place in batting average against, just with Ridgefield's 20 hits yesterday. 1-2 pitch from Callahan is at the letters, ball 2. They were sub 200 to begin with, and now they're up to 223 on the batting average allowed. Facing an offense that's 41 points higher than the next in terms of Ridgefield's own batting average. 60 more hits than any other team in the league, and scoring 42 more runs than any other team. 2-2 pitch, breaking ball, he spoils it, and Norton will extend this at-bat at least 1 more pitch on a slurve at 80 miles an hour. Mix between a slider and a curve on the pitch that bends away from a right-hand hitter like Bradley Norton. The 3rd baseman extends it to a 2-2 count. On deck is Tanner Jocks. 1 out, nobody on. Bellingham leading 5-4. J.D. Callahan winds and deals up by the head of Bradley Norton. He ducks away from it, and he did avoid getting hit in the noggin by that pitch. It runs the count full, and J.D. Callahan will take a respite here as the catcher will come out to talk with him. In fact, they'll just do a full-on mound visit with Adam Gieselin coming out to chat with J.D. Callahan. Right in the middle of this at-bat, it's a 3-2 count, and now the trainer for Ridgefield is going to come out as well. Mason Treeseyes is going to come talk with J.D. Callahan, and I don't know if he hurt something in his shoulder or if he's feeling from discomfort, and I think he might leave here. And that's it for J.D. Callahan. It's too bad. I hope he's okay. I hope it's just a precautionary measure. And apparently he signaled something to the dugout and did not like what was going on. And no reason to push it and do something dangerous here, so Bellingham will get somebody up and ready. I don't know if they had anyone throwing already down the bullpen. Now someone's getting ready, but it may take a little while for Bellingham to get a pitcher up and hot to come in here with a full count, 1 out, and nobody on base here in the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 5-4, Bellingham leading by a run. Bradley Norton is at the plate with a full count upcoming. Well, we have a chance to look around the scoreboard around the West Coast League. Corvallis extending their lead over the Bend Elks. It's 4-2 down in Central Oregon. Bottom of the 5th inning there. Cowlitz trailing Walla Walla 1-0 in the 8th inning. Bottom of the 3rd inning in Yakima, where the Pippins lead the Port Angeles Lefties 2-0. Port Angeles leading that game 2-0. And the Portland Pickles going for their 5-game winning streak. They're ahead of Wenatchee 1-0. How about what Portland's done? They lost the first game against Ridgefield, then won the next 2 games against the Raptors, and then won the first game big over Wenatchee, doing a Ridgefield-like performance against the Apple Sox when they won the first game of that series, 17-3. Then won yesterday 7-2. So they're on a 4-game winning streak, and they're above 500 now. Coming into the series, there were only 3 teams in the entire West Coast League that were above a 500 record. And now Portland joins those ranks on a 4-game winning streak. In fact, there's 2 teams in the Southern Division alone that are on a 4-game winning streak, and neither of them are the top 2 teams. Corvallis and Ridgefield are theoretically battling it out for the postseason berth awarded to the best team after the first half. But Portland is saying, hey, don't forget about us. They're 9-8 now. The Bend Elks are not able to catch up. The Portland Pickles have 1 more game in that series, and they still have 2 more series remaining after that. And so technically the Pickles are still in contention for the first half title, although Corvallis has 5 more wins than them at 14-6. And they lead the Bend Elks. Well, let's take a quick break and tell you about the new pitcher when we return here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Bellingham leading it 5-4.
Dick Hanna Dealerships is proud to welcome everyone back to support our Ridgefield Raptors. Just in time for warm summer nights with family and friends, lounging on the lawn, or eating dogs in the stands. Feels good to be back. In business for over 70 years, Dick Hanna Dealerships is a local, family-owned business with locations in Vancouver, Kelso, and Portland. Choose from thousands of cars and 12 new car brands. Experience nice in the car business. Dick Hanna Dealerships. Believe in nice. Now play ball.
Oh, I love family road trips. Wind in my ears, treats in my mouth, and peace of mind knowing Les Schwab did our tires, brakes, and alignment. Like Les Schwab, my family's safety is my first priority. Well, that and squeaky toys.
Les Schwab Tires, proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row. For J.D. Power 2021 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Change for the Bellingham Bells. J.D. Callahan unable to continue for the Bells. And the new pitcher coming in for Bellingham is Will Armbruster, who is making his 5th appearance on the summer. A 6'6", 225-pounder out of Sammamish, Washington. Pitches for University of New Mexico. The 20-year-old is the only player on this Bellingham Bells roster who also played for the Bells in 2019. Had a 5.08 ERA that year. He also had 2 at-bats that season and hit a home run against Yakima Valley back in 2019. I don't think he'll hit much this summer, but he is pitching here for the Bellingham Bells. Comes in with a full count to Bradley Norton, the 3rd baseman for Ridgefield, with 1 out and nobody on base. The Bells leading by a run. Bottom of the 4th inning, Ridgefield at the plate, 1 out. And Norton digging back in after a delay where J.D. Callahan unable to continue, and so the new pitcher had to get hot and took a while, but we are ready to go. Payoff pitch to Bradley Norton on the outside corner and a called third strike. And Will Armbruster gets credit for a strikeout, throwing one pitch. And there's 2 outs here in the 4th inning. So give credit to J.D. Callahan for 2/3 of a strikeout, although in the box score that will be simply 1 strikeout for Armbruster, who finished the deal. Will Armbruster now facing Tanner Jocks, a big hanging breaking ball that drops into the zone for strike 1. And now Chris Cota has something to say to Andrew Mervin, the home plate umpire. That breaking ball drop down was called a strike, and Chris Cota immediately waved over the umpire and said, let's talk for a minute. And they do discuss some things halfway between home plate and third base. I don't think he's arguing balls and strikes, because I doubt Andrew Mervin would allow that to that degree. But I think Chris Cota had a question about something else. I'm not completely sure what it was. Either way, Tanner Jocks now back into the batter's box behind 0-1, 2 outs, and now Adam Gieslin's going to come out and talk with Andrew Mervin, the home plate umpire, perhaps just asking, what was it you were just talking about with Chris Cota? After all, I'm wondering the same thing. And now Gieslin, the head coach for the Bellingham Bells, talking halfway up the first baseline. Will Armbruster holding out his hands as if to say, what's going on here? We seem to be doing fine. He's thrown 2 pitches. They've both been strikes, including one that got a strikeout. And now Gieslin apparently getting a satisfactory answer. And Will Armbruster will take to the mound after talking with his shortstop, Ty Saunders. And now they finally exit, and Armbruster back to the mound. All right, Tanner Jocks at the plate. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, nobody on base. Armbruster winds and delivers. Jocks rips one to the left fielder. He makes a diving attempt, and did he hold on to it? Yes, he did. It's held on by Emilio Corona for out number 3, and the inning is over. It ends up as a 1-2-3 frame between 2 different pitchers. Armbruster finishes it out, and we head to the 5th inning. It's the Bellingham Bells 5 and the Ridgefield Raptors 4.
Found a giant spider in my bed.
Stepped outside and a hornet stung my head.
Got ants around the sink,
and I am starting to think the experts that I know are gonna make me pest-free. Natura Pest Control, killing your bugs and rodents, baby. Natura Pest Control. Call today, get a quote for free.
Hey baseball fans, after the game visit A&A, the area's premier gaming, dining, entertainment, and meeting destination. A&A is a proud supporter of the Ridgefield Raptors and the perfect place to meet up with friends after a Raptors win for dinner, drinks, and great times. Keep the fun and excitement going after the 9th inning and grab beers at Tom's Urban, or enjoy a perfectly cooked porterhouse at Michael Jordan's Steakhouse. With 100,000 square feet of gaming space, 15 different restaurants, bars, and retail outlets to choose from, A&A has just what you need to turn your night at the ballgame into a night you won't forget. A&A, just off I-5 at exit 16, ILANIresort.com.
Deciding game of this series, and it's a 1-run ball game. The visiting Bellingham Bells leading 5-4 as we head to the top of the 5th inning, and Jacob Acosta retakes the mound for the Ridgefield Raptors. First batter he will face here in the 5th inning is Cole Hinkleman, designated hitter with a home run in his last at-bat. The left-hand hitter launched one to right center field for a solo bomb, and that essentially is the difference, as there's a 1-run lead for Bellingham right now. Acosta, the right-hand pitcher out of Cal State Bakersfield, throws the first pitch on the outside half and called a strike. 0-1 the count to Cole Hinkleman, who's 1 for 2 out of Sammamish, Washington, on his way to Stanford University. Already been down there in Palo Alto. He's 20 years old, and the 0-1 pitch to Cole is laced to the shortstop and into left center field for a base hit. No chance for John Peck to get in front of that one. Well hit line drive, and Hinkleman is aboard for a leadoff single here in the 5th inning. Charlie Somm to the plate, who's 2 for 2 in the ball game with 2 singles. On Tuesday, he had a 3-run home run, his first of the year. He's also a Stanford Cardinal, although he has not yet played for Stanford. He's an incoming freshman down in Palo Alto, 17-year-old from Thousand Oaks, California. Now as a runner on first, his future college teammate, and nobody out here in the top of the 5th inning. Jacob Acosta, the righty, now out of the stretch, a fastball for a strike. He's ahead 0-1. The good thing about being down a run is that every time Ridgefield has gotten into a rubber match of a series, which this is the 4th time now of the season, every time the winning team trailed earlier in the ballgame, 3 comeback wins. 2 of them were by Ridgefield. They gave up 1, so they're 2-1 in series finales to decide a series. Now Acosta goes off speed for a called strike. Charlie Somm yet to swing the barrel. He's behind 0-2. The first baseman today for Bellingham got the day off yesterday and has hit well today with 2 singles. No balls and 2 strikes from Jacob Acosta. Runner on first, nobody out. Here comes Jacob. It is just above the belt. Ball 1. 5-4 lead for the Bells, who have scored each of the last 3 innings. Ridgefield scoring in alternating innings. 2 runs, then none, then 2 runs, then none. They scored in every inning yesterday. So they've scored in 10 of the last 12 innings now here at the Rourke. Heading down to Corvallis for a start tomorrow to begin a 3-game series against Corvallis Knights. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Brock Gillis, off speed, and it swung on and fouled back. Down to 66 degrees here in Corvallis tomorrow, or here in Ridgefield. Tomorrow in Corvallis, a high of 86 will get underway at 6:30 tomorrow down at Goss Stadium at Coleman Field. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Jacob Acosta. Runner on first, and Hinkleman taking a medium-sized lead. The pitch, breaking ball, swung on and missed for strike 3. And Jacob Acosta gets his second strikeout of the ball game. Has faced 4 batters now. And now it's Grayson Sterling to the plate. With a 2-run home run back in the 2nd inning. He struck out in the 3rd. We're in the top of the 5th inning now. Runner on first, 1 out. 5-4 lead for the Bellingham Bells. Jacob Acosta out of the stretch, goes to the slider and breaks it on the back door. It's called a strike. Good work from Jacob Acosta with a sharp bend on that slider from the right-hander to the left-hand hitting Grayson Sterling. So he starts out the at-bat with a slider that starts out wide of the plate and comes back in over the dish as it's coming to Bradley Priap, the catcher. Priap now setting up in the outside half of the 0-1. Fastball and frames it well. It's 0-2. Good work to the left-hand hitter and Grayson Sterling. Slider in the outside corner and then paints the black with a fastball. And that's why a guy like Jacob Acosta probably isn't too worried about facing left-handed hitters, even though theoretically advantage goes to the hitter there with the backdoor slider and then fastball away. 2 strikes looking. It's 0-2 with 1 out. Acosta throws way outside. 1-2 is the count from Jacob at Cal State Bakersfield against Grayson Sterling from Gonzaga University, originally from Boise. Former Raptor at the plate with a runner on first and 1 out. Biggest hole in the outfield is to right center field. Acosta's 1-2 pitch swung on and sliced foul down the third base line into the wind, which is picking up a bit and blowing out towards right field as the sun beginning its descent, or continuing, I suppose, its ongoing motion around the earth. Sunset at just after 9 o'clock tonight here in Southwest Washington. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jacob Acosta from the stretch. The pitch is outside, and Priap tries to frame it, but doesn't quite bring it back over the plate. 2-2 is the count. Runner on first, who got a leadoff single on Cole Hinkleman, but then a strikeout. Put the 1 out on the board so far. Bellingham trying to extend their 1-run lead in the top of the 5th inning. Jacob Acosta comes set with the glove at the belt buckle. 2-2 pitch. A partial swing, he held back, and it's outside. Runs the count full. Today, Ridgefield giving up just 2 walks in the ball game through the first 4 innings. Gave up 15 yesterday, much more in check today. Payoff pitch upcoming from Jacob Acosta. Here it comes. Slider is hit high in the air. Caden Connor coming in. The right fielder locating it into the white sky and makes the catch. It's not always easy to locate those fly balls once they get above the lights and on a cloudy day where the white ball is traveling in front of a white backdrop and a cloudy day here in Ridgefield, but Caden Connor had no problem with it, and that's the second out of the inning. Ty Saunders to the plate with a runner on first. Ridgefield hoping to finish out this inning with a 0 on the scoreboard. Hold Bellingham scoreless for the first time in the last 4 innings. Bradley Preap will lead off for Ridgefield in the bottom of the 5th. Right now he's the catcher. Calling the pitches for Jacob Acosta on a slider on the first delivery. It's a strike. Runs inside of it to Saunders. He's a left-hand hitter. Acosta likes to start out at bats with a backdoor slider. That one caught a lot more of the plate, but Saunders does not swing. It's 0-1 from Jacob Acosta. Infield playing straight up. John Peck shaded a bit more towards the bag, actually. 0-1 pitch, another breaking ball, and swung on and missed from Jacob Acosta. Working away from the fastball of late. Even to the left-hand hitters where breaking balls are bending in towards them. 2 outs, runner on first. A 5-4 lead for Bellingham. Top of the 5th inning. Acosta comes set. That's the lead foot. The righty deals. Again, a slider. Got him looking. Jacob Acosta strikes out 2 in the inning. He gives up a leadoff walk, and Cole Hinkleman never advances past first. He faces 4 in the frame. No runs come in on 1 hit, 1 left on. No errors. Ridgefield playing clean baseball with no errors on the ball game. Bellingham still leading by 1. Ridgefield will try to change that here as we head to the bottom of the 5th.
Baseball is back, and Peace Health is excited to once again sponsor the Ridgefield Raptors as they vie for the West Coast League title. Raptors games make a great family outing. Bring the whole crew to the ballpark to enjoy a safe, fun outdoor event featuring the thrills of Raptors baseball. As the largest health provider in Clark County, Peace Health is ready to step up to the plate and keep your family in the game, whether it's a routine appointment or specialty emergency care. Peace Health and the Ridgefield Raptors, 2 great teams.
C-Tran is your public transit system offering service in Clark County and beyond. Catch local service in Clark County, regional and express service to Portland, and connector service within the city limits of Camas, La Center, and Ridgefield. And if you don't have cash, no problem. C-Tran now accepts digital payments with Hop FastPass. So hit a home run and leave the driving to us. Visit c-tran.com for more information. C-Tran, our community, our promise.
We head to the bottom of the 5th inning for Ridgefield, which has scored an alternating inning so far. To keep that trend alive, they'll have to score a couple runs here. They scored 2 in the first, none the next inning, then 2 the inning after that, then none in the 4th inning. So time will tell if they score 2 more runs here to keep that streak alive. Bradley Preap leads off out of Ohlone College, transferring to Radford University against Kai Francis, the right-hander for Bellingham. There was a first pitch strike. Bellingham ahead 5-4. Francis came in last inning. He's out of Gonzaga University, Bainbridge Island, Washington. 6'3", 175-pounder. Just 18 years old. The 0-1 pitch from Francis. Breaking ball misses. Ball 1 to Bradley Preap, the catcher, who hit .356 this spring for Ohlone College and got a spot out at Radford in Virginia. The 1-1 pitch to Preap is a breaking ball outside 2-1. Bradley was born in Stockton and grew up in San Diego, loved the Padres, but then moved back to Stockton and became a Giants fan. Got most of his family up in Stockton. 2-1 pitch to Bradley, swung on and hit foul. 2-2 is the count to the leadoff man in the bottom of the 5th. Bellingham up by a run. And the move from Stockton to San Diego was because of his father's job. His dad's a probation. Himself will not necessarily be following in the footsteps of his dad. He wants to be a nurse, be majoring in nursing at Radford. 2-2 pitch to Preap is hit on the ground to the third baseman, Davis Fields. AJ throws across and gets him in time for the first out of the inning. 1 down for Micah McDowell, who had a single in the third inning. He scored to tie this ball game up. He again represents the tying run. This time in the fifth inning for Ridgefield, a 5-4 ball game coming down the home stretch of the first half, and I find myself refreshing the scoreboard constantly to see the score of the Corvallis and Bend game. Corvallis leading 4-2 in that contest. And the first pitch to McDowell, inside ball one from Kai Francis. One out, McDowell at the plate, left-hand hitter against right-hand pitcher. Top of the seventh inning, down in Bend where Corvallis is leading by 2. 1-0 pitch to McDowell here in the bottom of the fifth inning and turns away from it. Ball 2 to Micah McDowell out of Oregon State University against Gonzaga, two teams that did play against each other this spring. 2-0 pitch from Francis is a ball. 3-0 from Kai. Is the count to Micah McDowell from Halifax, Nova Scotia. Prepped with the Okotoks Dogs in Alberta. Spent a few years there before heading on to Oregon State. The Canadian has a 3-0 pitch upcoming, and it's down the middle, strike one. One out, nobody on. McDowell said he was not a very good hitter when he got to Okotoks, where he could play with their system there, the high school age team, and it reworked his swing and would not have gotten to a level like Oregon State without them. 3-1 pitch, starts to swing, holds back. It is a called strike, a late call. Andrew Mervin waited and seemed to be calling a ball, and then after McDowell started to run up the line, then he called a strike. And it's 3-2. One out, nobody on base. I mean, you can argue balls and strikes all you want. The thing I don't get is why he waited so long. But hey, it's okay. If you got the right call, then call it a strike. I won't blame him. I'm farther away from him than he is. Payoff pitches swung on and missed. And McDowell is down on strikes. 2 down here in the fifth inning. And the leadoff man, Tapton Hensley, to the plate. Bottom of the fifth inning, Bellingham up by a run. Hensley, who has scored today, was the go-ahead run in the third inning right after McDowell scored. Came home on a wild pitch in the third inning. He got aboard via a single. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Now Hensley looking down towards the Bellingham dugout and saying, what's going on here? And so Tapton found an issue with something going on in the Bellingham dugout, and the umpire also looking that way. Now they give the ready for play signal, and Kai Francis throws a called strike to Tapton Hensley. 2 outs, nobody on. Bellingham leading by a run. We're just past the halfway mark of this ball game, bottom of the fifth inning. Hensley at the plate, and the 0-1 pitch is way outside, 1-1 to Tapton, who's hitting .356 on the year. He's got 3 home runs, all in the last 4 starts for Tapton. Slugging .622 now on the year. 1-1 pitch, off speed is a strike from Francis. 1-2 is the count to Tapton Hensley. Tapton with those 3 home runs of late now brings his OPS over 1,000 on the year. Yesterday went 4 for 6. 1-2 pitch, off speed, hangs high, and Tapton thought about expanding the zone and taking a chance at it, but makes the correct decision to hold off, and it's 2-2 from Kai Francis, who came in, got the final 2 outs of the inning, last frame in the fourth, and now trying to go 1-2-3 in the fifth. Out of the windup, the 2-2 pitch stays high. It's a full count to Tapton Hensley. The designated hitter yesterday and today, filling in the DH role for his college teammate Will Chambers. Will's been the DH most of the season. Now Tapton can shift into that role, and that kind of opens up a spot in the outfield because Tapton had been a valuable part of the lineup, mostly on left field. Here's the payoff pitch to Tapton. He swings and misses it, and it is a strikeout to end the frame. Kai Francis has struck out 3 of the 4 batters he's faced. He's gotten all 4 out, and it remains a 1-run ball game. Ridgefield held to just 4 hits today and 4 runs. Bellingham on top 5-4 as we head to the 6th.
Dick Hanna Dealerships is proud to welcome everyone back to support our Ridgefield Raptors. Just in time for warm summer nights with family and friends, lounging on the lawn, or eating dogs in the stands. Feels good to be back. In business for over 70 years, Dick Hanna Dealerships is a local, family-owned business with locations in Vancouver, Kelso, and Portland. Choose from thousands of cars and 12 new car brands. Experience nice in the car business. Dick Hanna Dealerships. Believe in nice. Now play ball.
Join the Ridgefield Raptors for warm sunshine, great food, and exciting top-level college baseball at the Rourke. Bring your family, friends, neighbors, and coworkers for a relaxing night outdoors this season. Your group can welcome us on the Les Schwab left field platform, the Leonard Holmes and Dick Hanna grass berms, or the First Centennial and Wellhaven Pet Health picnic areas. There's nothing like a Ridgefield Raptors summer baseball game. Get your tickets now at ridgefieldraptors.com. Go Raptors!
To the sixth inning we go here in Ridgefield. It's a one-run lead for the Bellingham Bells. New pitcher in for the Ridgefield Raptors. Third thrower of the game for the Raps is Andrew Trotman, coming in out of Fairbanks, Alaska, making his 9th appearance on the season. He allowed one earned run last appearance. That was his first earned run allowed in the last 5 games. He carries an ERA of 3.14. He's 2-1 on the season. Has 1 save. He's come out of the bullpen all 9 times this year. He's gone 14 in a third innings, 12 strikeouts, 5 walks, 13 hits allowed. And the first time this season, he will face the Bellingham Bells. The right-hander takes to the mound here to start out the 6th inning. And the first batter he will face is A.J. Davis. So the third baseman steps in and takes a strike from Andrew Trotman, a side-arming thrower to A.J. Davis, who is 0 for 2 in the ball game out of Lewis Clark State. Andrew Trotman out of Clark College throws off speed and misses. 1-1 is the count. Trop has a 2-seam fastball, a slider, and a changeup. Fastball in the mid-80s, throws that one for a strike. 1-2 is the count from Andrew Trotman. 1-run lead for the Bellingham Bells. We are through 5 complete innings here in the top of the 6th. A.J. Davis leading off. The 1-2 pitch from Trotman is just above the belt. 2-2 from Andrew. Infield playing straight up. Same for the outfield here in the series finale between the Raptors and the Bells. 2-2 pitch swung on and missed the outside off speed from Andrew Trotman. Gets his 13th strikeout of the season. And A.J. Davis is down on strikes. Good start by Andrew Trotman. Went 4 innings in that last appearance. That was about a week ago against Portland. Mostly he's been going 1 or 2 innings. In fact, he had not gone longer than 2 innings in any performance, but went 4 in that game. This one blooped over the second baseman into right field. Caden Connor on a sprint, and he gets there in time. Emilio Corona. Connor making the catch. 2 down here in the 6th inning. How about the work by Andrew Trotman in that game against Portland? An absurdly high-scoring game in the series opener in that contest. Right now it's a 5-4 game with the Bells leading in the top of the 6th. And that one, Ridgefield took a lead early and stayed up, but it was a game where Portland just kept on scoring and stayed close. Trotman throws 1-0 with the ball outside of Daniel Jernan, leadoff man, who had a triple last at-bat. Now the 1-0 pitch in there for a strike, 1-1. Trotman came in and I won't say quite shut down Portland. He gave up 1 earned run, but went 4 innings where Portland had scored 10 runs to pitchers not named Andrew Trotman, and he gave up just 1 earned in 4 innings, 3 hits, and struck out 3. Misses inside, runs the count to 2 balls and 1 strike from Andrew Trotman out of Fairbanks, Alaska with 2 outs. He throws, breaking ball, catches the inside corner for a strike. It's 2-2. Nobody on base, 2 outs, 1-run lead for the Bells. Trotman working from the first base side of the slab, throws and he hits the batter. He had 2 strikes on him and lost him and allowed as a base runner for the first time. Second hit by pitch of the day for Bellingham Bells hitters. And Yugo Hamakawa to the plate. Just 2 walks allowed on the contest, a day after Ridgefield gave up 15. They gave up more walks than any team in the league, but today has been much better. Just 2 walks allowed in the ball game. And neither one of those 2 walks led to runs scored. Now bunt is shown by the next batter, Hamakawa. Trotman tries to field and he slips. As he goes to grab it, the bunt ends up about a third of the way up the third baseline, and Trotman goes down to his seat as he's trying to pick that ball up. And Hamakawa is aboard for a 2-out single, pushes Jordan into second base, and now after Andrew Trotman got the first 2 batters out, he's now got 2 runners on. He does seem to be okay. Most importantly, he gets right back up and back on the mound. I'm sure he wants to get the next guy just in this inning after giving up a hit by pitch with 2 outs and then a single just a few feet off the plate. And now Luis Aviles, the batter, with 2 outs, runners in first and second. The pitch is just off the black, away from the right-handed hitter Aviles, who has 2 strikeouts in the last 2 at-bats. He walked in the first, but got stranded there. 263 hitter, hitting third all 3 times this series, waving the bat around actively, and fouls one back into the netting. 1-1 the count from Andrew Trotman. 5-4 is the score. Bellingham on top. They now have 9 hits on the game to Ridgefield's 4. One of the few times this season where Ridgefield has been out-hit. Leading team in the West Coast League in hits, and even on a day like Tuesday where they lost the game, they still had more hits than the Bells. 1-1 pitch from Trotman is swung on and missed. Goes to the off-speed at 73 miles an hour. Out of the stretch, Andrew Trotman is a 1-2 count. Runners take their leads, and Aviles steps back into the box, taps home plate. 2 outs. Insurance run in scoring position. Trotman throws, swung on and missed, and he does get out of it. Trotman allows a couple base runners with 2 outs, but they do not score. And he strands a pair with a strikeout to end the frame. He strikes out 2 in the inning, and he keeps Bellingham scoreless in the 6th. It remains a 5-4 ball game as we head to the bottom half of inning number 6 here from Ridgefield.
A lot has changed in Clark County since C-Tran began service in 1981. We've changed with it. 30 bus routes, 2 bus rapid transit projects, and millions of rides later, C-Tran has grown into an award-winning transit system serving Clark County, including the city limits of Ridgefield. Please join C-Tran in celebrating an amazing 40 years serving you, our community, with activities happening in 2021. Look for details at c-tran.com, and thank you for 40 great years.
Ridgefield Main Street thanks you for supporting the Raptors and downtown, the heart of Ridgefield. Spend the moolah you win at the game at downtown shops and restaurants. Upcoming events include Main Street Day, C-Tran Shuttle Downtown Tailgate, and the Friday Night Flicks Outdoor Film Series. We are a nonprofit organization dedicated to preserving the cultural heritage of downtown Ridgefield while advocating for its future. More information at ridgefieldmainstreet.com and find us on Facebook at Ridgefield Main Street. We'll see you downtown, and go Raptors!
Kai Francis back to the mound for the Bellingham Bells. Has gone 1 2/3 innings. He's struck out 3 of the 5 batters he's faced. No base runners allowed. The future Gonzaga Bulldog back to the bump, facing Reese Hernandez. 2 players both wearing jersey number 20. Reese Hernandez hopes to be the first player to reach base here for the Raptors off of Kai Francis. We start out the bottom of the 6th inning with Hernandez to the plate, the left fielder who has a sac bunt and a flyout on the day. He's on a 7-game hitting streak, including a day yesterday where he went 4 for 6 with a double. First pitch to Hernandez is down in the dirt. 5-4, Bellingham leading this ball game midway through the 6th inning, and Hernandez leading off with a .354 average. The 1-0 pitch is swung on and hit towards the shortstop. Running over is Saunders. He will throw to first, and it is in time to get Reese Hernandez by a quarter of a step. And Saunders just barely making that throw, had to work towards the ball, and good mechanics working back towards first base as he approached it. Kind of circling around the ball and get your momentum back towards the bag. And he throws out Hernandez 6-3 on the ground. Now Caden Connor to the plate with 2 productive at-bats. A ground out with an RBI and a bunt single in the first with a run scored later that inning. Hitting .250 on the year. 6'1", 200-pound, 20-year-old left-hand hitter with one out, nobody on. Takes a ball outside. Ridgefield 12-8 on the year, trying to make up some ground against the Corvallis Knights, who still lead the Bend Elks in the 7th inning down at Vince Jenna Stadium. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Caden Connor, ripped down the right field line. This will carry towards the fence and land in fair territory. It'll two-hop the fence. Caden Connor running towards second. He'll go for 3. Caden Connor rounding, and he will get into third without a throw. Caden Connor gets into third for a one-out triple. And the Raptors have the tying run on third base here in the 6th inning. They got away from the right fielder a bit, who had trouble handling it. Grayson Sterling running forward to hit the fence on a short hop, and Sterling took an extra grab at it, didn't grasp it cleanly on the first try. And Caden Connor picks up his first triple, or third triple of the season. He's into third base with one out. A single and a triple on the ball game for Caden. Next batter is Kobe Morales. First pitch is inside to Kobe, who had a 2 RBI home run in the first inning. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Been a while since Caden Connor had a triple, but he's had 2 of them on the season and now 3 to lead the team. There have only been 4 triples on the year for Ridgefield, or 5, excuse me, including that one. 3 of them by Caden Connor, and 1 of them by the guy who's now at the plate, and the other by Cole Ehrman. So 4 of the 5 triples from Cal State Fullerton players, and the 1 triple that wasn't by a Titan was by the Cypress College Charger, who's at the plate now. First triple that Caden Connor has had since June 15th. Morales at the plate with 1 out. Something to the outfield, could score the tying run here in the bottom of the 6th. The catcher, Aviles, going out to talk with Kai Francis. And now after that conversation, back and ready to go. The 1-0 pitch to Morales is on the bottom part of the zone. Strike 1 at 86 miles an hour. First hit of the ball game allowed by Kai Francis, who's gone 2 innings. And it's a big one down the right field line and hit the right field wall on 2 hops for a triple. 1-1 pitch from Francis is swung on and swung ahead of the changeup. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Caden Connor taking his lead from third base. Infield with the corner infielders just behind the bag. Middle infielders playing back. So a ground ball to second base or short should score a run. 1-2 pitch from Francis. A fastball down low. It's 2-2 to Kobe Morales. Kobe with one of the top RBI players in the West Coast League. Third in the West Coast League with 20 of them on the season. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Kai Francis. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed. 2 outs here in the inning. And John Peck is the last man to have a chance here if he can get on, extend the inning for Brad Norton and score Caden Connor. Peck is 0 for 2 in the ball game. He's hitting .304 on the year, 19 RBIs. So he could tie up Kobe Morales after Kobe opened up the door for John Peck to get the RBI. Caden Connor remaining at third base, and we'll see a mound visit here with Kai Francis perhaps finishing here. There is a thrower in the Bellingham Bells bullpen, although I think this will just be a conversation on the mound and not a pitching change here. John Peck is the next hitter. Got the day off yesterday after going 1 for 4, but hitless so far, and actually that will do it for Kai Francis. So the mound visit lasted a good 10-15 seconds before Francis exited. Perhaps Adam Gieselin coming out to the mound still undecided on whether or not he was going to pull the pitcher, and after a few words he decides to make the switch, or perhaps knew it the whole time and just wanted to tell his young pitcher a few things before the new thrower came in. Well, we'll tell you about the new pitcher when we come back. It's 5-4, Bellingham leading, tying run at third base for Ridgefield here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
This is WSU Vancouver, Southwest Washington's only 4-year research university. Whether in person or via distance delivery, WSU Vancouver offers high-quality education and an employer-respected degree. You'll get a small school feel in the kind of place where you know you matter. Here, you'll get personalized education that brings out the best in you and inspires you to achieve your highest goals. Now what are you waiting for? Apply today.
The Ridgefield Raptors are thrilled to reunite with fans and enjoy summer baseball again. Join us for America's favorite pastime. The Raptors are following state guidelines for spectator events and ask for your patience as we prepare for exciting West Coast League play. Please be courteous to our staff, fans, and players as we celebrate the return of your Ridgefield Raptors this summer. Let's make it a great season at the Rourke. Get your tickets now at ridgefieldraptors.com. Go Raptors!
Ridgefield has not scored in the last 2 innings. That could change here in the bottom of the 6th. Caden Connor with a 1-out triple. He now stands on base, still on third, but with 2 outs in the inning. New pitcher for the Bellingham Bells is Hunter Alberini out of Las Vegas, Nevada. The 19-year-old from Southern Nevada is making a second appearance on the season and first on a West Coast League game. He went 2 innings against Cascade, a non-league team. He gave up 1 hit, no earned runs in 2 innings and picked up the win. Now he's facing John Peck in the bottom of the 6th inning, tying run at third in a 5-4 ball game. First pitch from Alberini is high to John out of Moore Park, California. John Peck, the Pepperdine infielder who has 8 doubles on the year, hitting .304. Need a base hit here to extend the inning and score Caden Connor, or an error or something to score Caden. 2 outs in the frame. Bottom of the 6th. 1 ball and no strikes from Alberini. Off speed, that drops for a strike. 1-1 is the count from Hunter Alberini at 6'2", 190 against John Peck, who's second in the West Coast League in hits with 28. 1-1 pitch is swung on and hit high in the air and foul behind home plate. And it runs to count to 1 ball and 2 strikes from Alberini. Caden Connor taking his lead from third, hoping to score for the second time today and tie this ball game up. He was the first player to score for either team. Hopes to be the most recent one. Takes a big lead from third. 1-2 pitch, runs outside, 2-2. Connor starting to sprint down the third baseline before Alberini goes into his delivery, just trying to get in the head of the 19-year-old. But Alberini stays strong and shows his fortitude, doesn't balk. 2-2 pitch from Hunter Alberini is swung on and just enticing it foul is John Peck, and extends the at-bat for at least 1 more pitch. Alberini back to the mound out of the windup here with only 1 runner on at third. 2 outs, 2-2 is the count. 6th pitch of the plate appearance to John Peck. Here it comes, and it is outside, ball 3. Full count to John Peck. If he walks, Brad Norton would come up to the plate. Brad is yet to get an RBI on the summer, getting his 3rd start here of the season. Here's the payoff pitch from Alberini. It is swung on and laced down the right field line, but foul into the grass over the bleachers on the right field side. And John Peck again extending the at-bat with a 2-strike foul ball. 8th pitch of the at-bat to come from Hunter, coming out of the bullpen here in the 6th. 1-run lead for the Bells. Another payoff from Alberini. It is way over the batter, and it bounces off the backstop. It's ball 4, and it was so high that it bounces straight back to the catcher, and Caden Connor holds. That's ball 4, but it is a live ball, so if Caden Connor wanted to come home, he could have, but he would have been tagged out as that pitch rocketed off the backstop straight back to the catcher, Aviles. It's ball 4, and a pitch that just something got away from Alberini, and he walks John Peck. And Bradley Norton to the plate out of Rutgers University. Started out at Nevada, and he's now facing a pitcher from Southern Nevada. Then he transferred to Ohlone College, spent 2 years there, went on to Rutgers, and now playing for the Ridgefield Raptors. First pitch to Bradley Norton out of the stretch. Alberini foul down the first base line. Just foul. And it's 0-1 to Bradley Norton, who is expecting to play for Ridgefield last summer, but the season got canceled, now playing in 2021. First baseman holding John Peck on at first, so a fairly big hole on the right side. 2 outs, runners on the corners. Tying run at third. The 0-1 pitch to Norton, swung on, hit towards first base, and again foul. Charlie saw him going over to make an attempt at it. Gets by him, not that it really matters. It's strike 2 to Bradley Norton, who I believe broke his bat. Either that or he needs some adjustments on the bat, and I think he will try to grab a replacement here with no balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs, runners on the corners. And he gets a fresh at-bat from Tafton Hensley, or someone handed him a new bat. Caden Connor standing at third. He tripled earlier this inning. Trying not to strand him. We're in the bottom of the 6th. The Bells have been leading 5-4 ever since the 4th inning. Norton at the plate with no balls and 2 strikes. Alberini out of stretch. The pitch is laced foul behind home. John Peck was running on the delivery. The runner from first. Runners on the corners right now. John Peck and Caden Connor, respectively, from first and third. And Bradley Norton at the plate. Right-hand hitter against right-hand pitcher. A 1-run ball game and the deciding game of this series that could have huge implications and postseason berth opportunities. No balls and 2 strikes. Alberini to the plate. Swung on and missed, and the inning is over. Caden Connor triples with 1 out, but is stranded there at third. 1 hit in the inning, no runs, and the first 2 players of the ball game left on base. Ridgefield had not left anybody on all game long. That changes here in the 6th. We head to the 7th inning, and it's 5-4 with the Bells still leading.
At Clark Public Utilities, we know you depend on electricity every day. And even though our offices remain closed, we're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, by phone, online, and email. The past year has brought changes to many in our community, with lost jobs or reduced working hours, disrupted childcare, and the challenge of teaching the kids. If you've been financially impacted by the pandemic and can't pay your utility bill, call us or send an email right away. Eligibility for payment assistance has been expanded so more households may qualify. Through it all, we're always here to provide you with safe and reliable service, and we're ready to help. Clark Public Utilities, ranked highest in customer satisfaction among residential mid-size utilities in the West by J.D. Power, 13 years in a row. For J.D. Power 2020 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Clark Public Utilities, we're always here.
Through 6 innings from the Ridgefield Outdoor Recreation Complex for the Bellingham Bells, 5 runs on 9 hits, no errors. For the Ridgefield Raptors, 4 runs on 5 hits and no errors. Andrew Trotman back to the mound and quickly throws a strike to Cole Hinkleman. 0-1 the count to the Stanford designated hitter. He has a home run and a single on the day, and now he swings at the 0-1, and he's behind no balls and 2 strikes as he fouls it behind home plate. Leading off the top of the 7th inning. Bellingham scored 2 runs in the top of the 4th, and the teams have put up zeros on the scoreboard ever since then. 9 runs in this ballgame combined after a day when these 2 teams matched for 25 runs combined yesterday. The 0-2 pitch just missing the outside edge of home plate. Right-hand thrower in Andrew Trotman against left-handed batter and Cole Hinkleman. The 1-2 pitch from Andrew is off speed, lifted high in the air in the infield. Trotman pointing up at it. He's going to call for it, and he makes the catch on the mound for the out. 1 away. At first, Trotman was saying, all right, you guys get it. And then he says, well, that's right to me. I'll take it. And he does make the catch just about a foot to the left of the rubber. And one down here in the top of the 7th, Charlie Somm to the plate. 3-run home run on Tuesday. Today he's 2 for 3 with a pair of singles. Infield edging towards second base as Somm takes a ball outside. 1 out, 1-0 count. Bellingham leading 5-4. John Peck and Tanner Jocks, the double play combo, moving a little bit more towards second base, respecting the contact abilities of Somm. Straight back up the middle. 2 singles on the day. He takes a pitch to even the count at 1-1. 1 out, nobody on. A strike from Trotman to even it up. And now with 1 ball and 1 strike, he throws one running out of the zone. Outside 2-1 from Andrew Trotman. Outfield playing straight up to Charlie Somm out of Thousand Oaks, California. 2-1 pitch from Trotman. Again runs outside. It's 3-1. Corvallis scores 1 more run to take a more side to 2. 3-1 pitch from Trotman is swung on and missed. It was a bit inside, but Somm took a shot at it and missed it. And with 1 out, it's now a full count from Andrew Trotman. Charlie Somm, the right-handed hitter at 5'11", 180. Struck out last at bat, but he's 2 for 3. The payoff pitch is blooped into right field off the hand. Sprinting out is Morales. It's Caden Connor taking a run at it, and he runs out of room. And the ball lands right near the netting on the right field side for a foul ball. Other scores around the league. Cowlitz has tied it up with Walla Walla, and they head to the 10th inning. They're in the bottom of the 10th there at Borleski Stadium in Walla Walla, 3-3 with the Black Bears in the suites. Yakima Valley leading Port Angeles 4-2. And the Portland Pickles leading Wenatchee 3-0. About halfway through both of those games. Here in the top of the 7th, it's Bellingham leading 5-4. There's the payoff pitch from Trotman. It's inside and it hits the batter. And he has plunked Charlie Somm for what would have been ball 4 anyways, even had it not hit Somm, but it does plunk him. He turns away and seems to be okay. And runs down to first. A 1 out hit by pitch, and Grayson Sterling to the plate. Left-handed hitter who had a home run earlier today, 2-run bomb in the 2nd inning to tie it up at 2-2. Bellingham scored 1 run the next inning to take a 3-2 lead. Ridgefield scored 2 in the bottom half of that same inning to go up by a run. Pickoff moved to first, not in time to get Somm. So Ridgefield has led on 2 different occasions today, but they lost that second lead the very next half inning when Bellingham scored 2 more runs of their own to go ahead 5-4, and that's been the score ever since. Trotman throws a called strike to Grayson Sterling, 0-1 the count. A home run in the first inning by Kobe Morales. And the 3rd inning with some singles by Micah McDowell and Tafton Hensley, who have led the way. Another pickoff move and almost got Charlie Somm, but he does scramble back in time. Snowballs and 1 strike from Andrew Trotman with 1 out in the top of the 7th. Trotman comes set. The right-hander out of Clark College deals outside, ball in 1 to Grayson Sterling out of Gonzaga. The right fielder today got his first home run earlier, and that was in the 2nd inning for the Bellingham Bells, who are 8-12 on the season. Won the first game of the series 7-1, and Bellingham won yesterday 15-10. 1 ball and 1 strike. Trotman to the plate, and it's a called strike on the outer half from Andrew. 1-2 is the count to the pair of players, both wearing jersey number 27. Sterling, a sophomore from Gonzaga, and Andrew Trotman also having spent 2 years, rising sophomore with the COVID year. Actually, you can take 2 COVID years at Clark College, but we'll take 1. The 1-2 pitch swung on and missed from Grayson Sterling. And Andrew Trotman strikes out another batter. He has struck out 3 now. Yeah, this is his 2nd inning of work, and he's allowed 3 base runners, 2 of them hit by pitch, 1 single, but he's not allowed any runs yet, and he's 1 out away from a 2nd scoreless inning. Ty Saunders in the way. Left-handed batter out of University of Portland holds back on the pitch just outside 1-0 from Trotman. 1-run lead for the Bells. The winner of this game takes the series. There will be one more series between these two clubs at the end of this month up in Bellingham. 1-0 pitch hit up the middle. It gets through the infield and into center. A two-out single for Ty Saunders. The lead runner holds at second, and that's Charlie Son. And now there's runners in first and second for the Bellingham Bells with 2 outs. They had the same situation last inning, a hit by pitch and then a single, both with 2 outs, but Trotman struck out the next batter to end it. Same thing this inning where a hit by pitch and a single, put runners in first and second with 2 outs, and the player he will try to strike out is A.J. Davis, who was actually the first hitter he faced last inning and struck him out. First pitch is hit behind home plate, strike 1. 2 outs, runners in first and second. Trotman entered in relief last inning and has worked through the lineup now, allowing 0 runs. Stranded 2 last inning on first and second. And trying to do the same thing here. He's ahead 0-1 with 2 outs. Right-handed pitcher against right-handed batter. Trotman deals. Breaking ball for a called strike, and he's ahead 0-2. Trotman looking into Bradley Priup. First time that this battery has been utilized by the Raptors this season. Trotman comes set. Looks back at second base to the lead runner with 2 outs. He's ahead 0-2. Looks back at home, and the throw from Trotman is a bit high and inside to A.J. Davis, ball 1. A.J. has struck out twice and flying out to center field once. He's 1 for 9 on the series for the Clarkston, Washington native. Plays for Lewis Clark State. Could still see Eli Schubert at some point tonight, also from LSE State. This one spoiled on the first base side and keeps the count at 1-2. Top of the 7th inning here from Ridgefield. 1-run ball game. The Bells leading right now 5-4. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Andrew Trotman throws. It's again fouled off on the right field side. In back of home plate, and Andrew Trotman having to work through A.J. Davis a bit harder than the first time around. And he led off with a strikeout. This time he's fouled off 2 straight. Andrew Trotman looking into home, and A.J. Davis, who he hopes will be the final batter of this inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's down and away. He evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs, 2 on. Top of the 7th here from the Rourke. We'll play again here on Sunday for a 4th of July contest. That one a different time. If you're hoping to come out to the ballpark, it's 3:05 for that Sunday start. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Trotman. It's inside, and he hits the batter. He's hit 2 this inning, and that loads the bases here in the 7th. Still no runs yet allowed by Andrew Trotman, but he is playing with fire here as Emilio Corona comes to the plate. Bases loaded, 2 outs. A 1-run ball game that is absolutely a small enough lead for Ridgefield to come back on. They still got 3 innings to work with and just a 1-run margin, but Bellingham with 3 runners aboard now. Still 2 outs. And the next batter that Trotman will face is Corona, who has a single on the day. He's 1 for 3. Believe we will see a pinch runner over at first or some sort of substitution for Bellingham. I can't get the jersey number on the guy at first, but for what it's worth, a new runner at first base. So bases loaded for Bellingham, 2 outs. 5-4 is the lead for the Bells. First pitch from Trotman is fouled off by Corona. Left fielder at a University of Washington. Had a home run yesterday. Got a single off of Brock Gillis, his college teammate, in the 2nd inning, but he has not gotten aboard since then. No balls and 1 strike from Andrew Trotman. With 2 outs he throws, and it's a called strike. He's ahead 0-2. He stranded 2 runners last inning. How about making it a little bit more dramatic and stranding 3? But he needs 1 more strike to do so. With 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. And a 1-run deficit for Ridgefield. No balls and 2 strikes. Trotman throws, and it's just above the belt. 1-2 is the count. Bellingham getting their 3 runners aboard on a hit by pitch, a single, and then another hit by pitch. Charlie Somm, the insurance run at third base. Trotman looks back at second. The 1-2 from Andrew is swung on and missed, and he strands 3 in the inning. He pitches 2 innings and strands 5 overall, allowing 0 runs in those 2 innings. Andrew Trotman is he's a thespian, makes it dramatic, but he does the work with 2 zeros in 2 innings of work. It's still the Bellingham Bells leading 5-4. We head to the bottom of the 7th. It's time to stretch from Ridgefield.
Warmer weather is here, and what better way to enjoy a summer day than with a trip to the ballpark to watch exciting Ridgefield Raptors baseball. Play ball! Don't miss the action on the diamond as the Ridgefield Raptors battle other Western League rivals for the championship. This safe outdoor event is a perfect outing for you and your friends. Peace Health is a proud sponsor of the Ridgefield Raptors, with a team of medical experts on deck to provide your family the care you need. Treat your family to an exciting night at the ballpark and make it part of your healthy, active summer. Peace Health and Ridgefield Raptors baseball, a great double play.
The Ridgefield Raptors are thrilled to reunite with fans and enjoy summer baseball again. Join us for America's favorite pastime. The Raptors are following state guidelines for spectator events and ask for your patience as we prepare for exciting West Coast League play. Please be courteous to our staff, fans, and players as we celebrate the return of your Ridgefield Raptors this summer. Let's make it a great season at the Rourke. Get your tickets now at ridgefieldraptors.com. Go Raptors!
Well, we lead off the bottom of the 7th inning with Tanner Jocks to the plate and takes a first pitch ball down low. 1-0 is the count to Tanner Jocks, who's 0-2 on the ball game, and now takes a called strike from Hunter Alberini out of Southern Nevada, who came in last inning and finished out the frame, standing runners in first and third by the Raptors. 1-1 is the count here, bottom of the 7th inning. 1-run lead for Bellingham, and Alberini misses low to Tanner Jocks, who walked 9 times in the last 4 games. He's not walked today, but was saying earlier he's gotten better at not chasing pitches outside the zone later on this summer. 2-1 pitch misses down and away. 3-1 the count to Tanner, who's gotten 9 of his 15 walks in the last 4 games. And just seeing pitchers trying to paint the zone and get him to chase on a pitch just outside, and he just flat out hasn't been doing that, hasn't been chasing. He's gotten on board on a lot of walks of late. 3-1 pitch, takes a cut at it and misses it. 3-2 the count to the leadoff man in the bottom of the 7th inning. 5-4 is the mark right now. Bellingham on top ever since the 4th inning. Tanner Jocks at the plate, 0 for 2 in the contest. The second baseman swings and hits it off the hands foul in back of home plate. On deck for Ridgefield is Bradley Priap. And then Micah McDowell. It's the 7, 8, and 9th hitters in the lineup here in the 7th inning. 1-run deficit to make up, and they got 9 outs to work with. Payoff pitch from Alberini, off speed upstairs, and Tanner Jocks extends the streak of walks. Now 10 walks in the last 5 games. And he's aboard with a leadoff base on balls. Bradley Priap to the plate. His second game in a Raptors uniform, first against a West Coast League opponent. It was his third at-bat against the Northwest Star Nighthawks when he got a single up the middle. And now in his third at-bat, he's the scheduled hitter again, with a runner on first base for Ridgefield. Priap the scheduled hitter, but I wonder if we may see a pinch hitter here for Ridgefield or what the case may be, as Priap is still on the field, but he is not walking to the plate, and I think we're going to see a pinch hitter now. Dominic Enbody has taken a bat, and the left-hand hitter looks like he will see a pinch hit opportunity here for the Raptors. Enbody, who's a catcher, designated hitter, pinch hit extraordinaire, came in for a pinch hit opportunity against the Bend Elks a couple weeks ago. And Dominic Enbody had the game-winning single to center field that scored the game-winning run the next day. Dominic, who's hitting .241 on the year with 5 RBIs and 2 doubles. He's got a man on first for the Wilsonville native. Left-handed hitter against right-handed pitcher. First pitch of the at-bat, he shows bunt, pulls back, it's outside 1-0. So N-Body coming into bunt and trying to get the tying run over. Tanner Jocks the runner at first. A 5-4 lead for Bellingham, bottom of the 7th inning. Alberini out of the stretch, the righty deals, again showing bunt, and Dominic unable to get it down, took an attempt at it. Now it's strike one on Dominic, 1-1 the count to N-Body. Comes in for Bradley Priap, and so perhaps Dominic himself will just be the catcher next inning, since Priap was behind the dish so far today. Grant Heiser has not appeared today either. 1-1 pitch, he puts down the bunt, it lands along the first baseline, and it'll roll all the way to the burr, and N-Body is safe at first. It rolled all the way to the bag, and it perhaps touched the bag. The Bellingham Bells arguing with it and saying it went foul, but the home plate umpire immediately ruled fair ball, and now there's runners in first and second with nobody out. N-Body kind of popped that one up down the first baseline, and it landed more than halfway towards the bag, and the Bells decided to let it roll thinking it would go foul, and it looked like it was angling foul, but perhaps it just barely clipped the first base bag. If it hits first, it's fair. If it rolled to the right of first base, it's foul, and the Bells are saying that was foul, and they are unable to change the mind of the umpires. So N-Body is safe at first on a base hit. And now there's runners in first and second, nobody out for Micah McDowell, left-handed hitter out of Oregon State. The center fielder will also show bunt, and he fouls it behind home plate, and it goes down to first off the catcher. And it looks like Luis Aviles got hit in a bad spot, and now the catcher is injured. And he was laying on his stomach for a while, and now he's able to get up to his knees. And now goes into a sitting position. The bunt off the bat of Micah McDowell, and it glanced downwards into the body of Luis Aviles. And talking with Mason Treeseyes, now the trainer. It was the first pitch to McDowell. And with runners in first and second, and the tying run now in scoring position for Bellingham. They had the tying run at third base last inning, and now have nobody out in the tying run in scoring position. But most importantly right now for the Bellingham Bells is just making sure Luis Aviles is okay. The catcher who is sitting down and talking with the trainers and his coaching staff. Now he's able to get up to his feet and walking gingerly. I'm not sure if he'll continue, but he's collecting his face mask and kind of limping on the right foot, it looks like. Yeah, it looks like he's going to keep going. Tough kid, Luis Aviles. Catcher out of Tulane University. So he'll keep going behind the dish. It's a no ball, 1 strike count to Micah McDowell. 2 straight batters showing bunt. N-Body got aboard for a base hit bunt. Pushes Jocks to second base. McDowell behind 0-1. We'll see if he shows bunt again. The corner infielders even with the bag. Middle infielders in double play depth. Alberini out of the stretch against Micah McDowell, who gets time called and now steps back into the batter's box. Outfielders playing fairly deep to Micah McDowell, especially in right field towards the pole hitter. 0-1 pitch, he shows bunt. It's outside on the slider. Caught by Luis Aviles. 1-1 is the count. Tanner Jocks, the tying run at second. Go-ahead run at first, and Dominic N-Body. Bottom of the 7th inning from Ridgefield in the final game of the series. One and one is the count to Micah McDowell. He shows bunt, pulls back again. It's called a strike, and Micah McDowell is quite surprised at that ruling by Andrew Mervin, home plate umpire. 1 and 2 is the count. Final score from Bend: Corvallis Knights 5, Bend Elks 2. So that makes this game that much more important to stay in touch with the Corvallis Knights. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Micah McDowell. Now he's not showing bunt from Alberini. He will take a breaking ball, just missing. It's 2-2. Still nobody out here in the frame. Bottom of the 7th inning with a walk to Tanner Jocks that started this, and then a sack bunt attempt by N-Body going to the first base side, and it apparently clipped the bag, stayed fair. Now runners in first and second with nobody out. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Alberini to the plate, swung on, and it's strike 3. McDowell is retired for the first out of the 7th inning. And Tafton Hensley to the plate. Top of the order now for the Raptors, so it's Hensley, Hernandez, and Connor next up. Top of the order was uber productive yesterday. 4 hits for each of the first 4 batters, accounting for 16 of the 20 hits yesterday. Today it's been decent, especially with Kobe Morales, the cleanup hitter, the home run. Morales has a single, or Hensley has a single, swings at the first offering and doesn't get it. Runners in first and second, 1 out. Hensley had a single in the 3rd inning. He struck out his other 2 times. Runners in first and second with Jocks the lead runner. Infield playing straight up now. The 0-1 pitch is at the letters, ball 1. Hensley, a right-handed hitter against right-handed pitcher and Hunter Alberini. Hensley kind of reworking his swing of late, and just really the main difference for him was just to swing a little bit higher on the ball, getting under it too much, and the launch angle was too high. He's just popping up a lot of pitches and hitting balls more square now. The 1-1 pitch is a called strike, 1-2. Hensley's slugging percentage has just skyrocketed since making that adjustment. He's up to .622 in slugging percentage, 3 home runs in his last 4 games, .356 batting average. But now he's behind 1 ball and 2 strikes with 1 out. Alberini looks back at second once, now twice. Out of the stretch throws, it's swung on and missed, and he has struck out 2 straight batters. And there's 2 down with runners in first and second, and now a base hit needed by Reese Hernandez, who was 0-for-2 in the ball game. He's on a 7-game hitting streak. He's had a great second half of this season so far. Second half of the month of June. When he joined the team a few games in, started out a little bit rough. He was 2 for his first 16. But then on June 12th, he had a 3-for-5 performance against Yakima Valley, and his batting average has risen ever since to .354 now for the left fielder from San Jose State. Takes a first pitch ball from Hunter Alberini. Runners in first and second base, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th inning. Ridgefield trying to tie this game up or take a lead if Hernandez can put one into the gap, which could score the go-ahead run, but at least the tying run at second base. 1-0 pitch is outside, 2-0 to Reese Hernandez. Is one of the better players on this team in drawing walks. He has 11 on the year. On deck is Caden Connor, who had a triple in his last at-bat. 2 for 3 in the ball game. Hernandez at the plate. He's ahead 2-0. 2 outs here in the 7th. Alberini comes to the plate. It is on the outside corner, 2-1 at 90 miles an hour. Luis Aviles, the catcher, looks to be still a little bit hampered on the right foot. Hope he's okay, and it does not seem like if he needed to run, he would be able to do so all that well. He's the catcher, so maybe he won't need to in this half inning, but we'll see. 2-1 the count. Alberini comes back with the 2-1, and it catches the outside corner for a strike. And it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Reese Hernandez. Just got 13 RBIs on the year. Trying to extend the hit streak. He went 4 for 6 yesterday. 7-game streak with a hit in each game. Most importantly, just trying to get the tying run home from second here in the 7th inning. Alberini with the 2-2 outside, and the count is full. Deciding game of this series, and it's coming down to the wire. Ridgefield down to its final 7 outs now. Payoff pitch upcoming. Full count, 2 outs, tying run in scoring position. Bottom of the 7th. Reese Hernandez at the plate. Alberini works Hernandez. It's outside, ball 4, and the tying run moves to third. The bases are loaded for Caden Connor. Ridgefield has drawn just 3 walks today. 2 of them have been this inning. And Tanner Jocks moves to third and body the go-ahead run at second base. And Reese Hernandez to first. Caden Connor at the plate. with a single in the first inning on a bunt, an RBI and a ground out, and a triple. And with 2 outs and the bases loaded, Ridgefield has a stellar chance to do something dangerous here. First pitch from Alberini, breaking ball up high, ball 1. Last inning, Caden Connor was stranded at third. Now he is on the opposite side of this inning, where he's the one trying to score the runner from third. He had a triple last inning and never advanced home. Now he's got a runner at third, 2 outs. A left-handed hitter against right-handed pitcher. Bottom of the 7th inning, Alberini out of the windup, and the 1-0 pitch is swung on and hit high but foul. 1-1 is the count to Caden Connor, who tends to come up with the bases loaded. Had a string of 3 games where he came up to the plate with the bases juiced on 6 occasions between those 3 games, including 3 times in 1 game. Today, this is merely the first time, but he could make the most of it here with the base hit. 1-1 is the count with 2 outs. Alberini to the plate, swung on and fouled at the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Caden Connor, who's hitting .250 on the year. The 20-year-old from Cal State Fullerton, who had 4 hits yesterday, 2 hits today. He had a double yesterday and 3 RBIs. He's got a single and a triple today. Bases loaded for Caden Connor. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1-run deficit for the Raptors. Here in the bottom of the 7th, Alberini winds and delivers. It's swung on and fouled back into the netting. And Connor stays alive with 2 strikes here. Morales is on deck. Kobe, who has a home run today. Alberini trying to finish Caden Connor here and hope to see Morales with the bases empty next inning. Even if Ridgefield doesn't score a run here, it's still only a 1-run game as we would head to the 8th. But leaving the bases loaded with a 1-run deficit will be a punch in the gut if they do suffer such a fate. Caden Connor asks for time after Alberini pauses for an elongated breath. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases remain loaded, with Tanner Jocks standing a mere 90 feet away to tie this game up. The 1-2 pitch from Alberini swung on and fouled again. Connor got under it and hit it to the third base side, where a smattering of kids pounce on it, hoping for one more foul ball, and then Caden Connor will hit one to the gap. So the kids hope. Now a mound visit from Jim Clem, the pitching coach for Bellingham. The Bells came in with the best ERA in the West Coast League. They no longer hold that mantle. Ridgefield throttling them for 15 runs last night, and that alone moved them down 2 spots and moved them down 4 spots in batting average against. But right now, Bellingham doing much better, 4 runs on the ball game, which is half of Ridgefield's average on the season. Still more than Bellingham's normal output. Their ERA a tick over 3 coming in on the series, but now Ridgefield with 6 hits in the ball game compared to Bellingham's 10 on the game. But Ridgefield has the go-ahead run at second base and the tying run at third. Bases loaded, 1 ball and 2 strikes for Caden Connor. Jim Clem now walking back to the dugout, and Caden will retake the batter's box. This inning started with a walk by Tanner Jocks. And 5 batters later, he's now at third base with 2 outs. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Caden Connor. Outfielders playing fairly deep, especially in right field. Bottom of the 7th. Here comes Alberini with the 1-2. Swung on and grounded to short. Tough play for the shortstop Saunders. It's the third baseman who fields it, and he has no throw. It's an infield single for Caden Connor. A.J. Davis cut off his own teammate to try to field that ball. Saunders, the shortstop, was angling towards it, and Davis cut in front of him. And they seem to have some miscommunication. I don't know if either of them would have had a play, but it looked like Saunders was coming towards it. Davis didn't really have a better play on it than Saunders did. And it's an infield single and RBI for Caden Connor. It scores Tanner Jocks. We got a tie ball game at 5-5, and new life for the Raptors. A sigh, a deep, relieving sigh for Ridgefield. Kobe Morales to the plate, swings at the first delivery and fouls it to Luis Aviles, the catcher who has just taken a beating today, and this inning in particular. And he's going to need another moment to recollect himself. I feel bad for the kid because he was in some serious pain earlier this inning and stayed in. And now Aviles will again get some attention from Mason Treeseyes, who starts to walk out into the field, and the trainer then starts to walk back, seeing that Aviles wants nothing to do with the trainer. He says, "I'm good. Leave me alone. I want to play." And the catcher apparently will continue. Bases are still loaded. That single put Caden Connor on first, Reese Hernandez to second, Dominic Enbody to third, and Tanner Jocks scored on a ground ball towards short. Bases remain loaded, 5-5, bottom of the seventh. The 0-1 pitch to Kobe Morales swung on and chips it back, 0-2. First run that Ridgefield has scored since the third inning. Kobe Morales got the scoring started back in the first with a 2-run home run. His fourth of the season, ties the team lead. He has not gotten on base since then. He's on a 5-game hitting streak, including today. No balls and 2 strikes from Alberini. Throws, and a breaking ball is down in the zone. And Luis Aviles blocks it, and he is laboring. He seems to have little ability to use the right foot. If he had to go back up a throw at first or run down an errant throw from the outfield, I don't know how well Aviles would do right now. I feel sorry for the kid. I hope he'll be okay. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Hunter Alberini. It is swung on, and Morales will foul this one off. Out of reach of the left fielder, Emilio Corona. The wind blowing somewhat hard towards right field. Kobe Morales hitting his home run. That glanced off the small hill in right field and over the berm and beyond the bullpen in right field. He has a 1 ball and 2 strike count, 2 outs, bases loaded. Hunter Alberini out of the windup, deals a breaking ball that's in there for strike 3. And Ridgefield leaves the bases loaded. They leave all 5 runners left on base have been in the past 2 innings, but they do score 1 run and tie the game up. They've been trailing for 3 innings, and just to be tied is relieving for Ridgefield. Yet they still left something out there, but 5-5 is the score. We head to the 8th inning here from the Rourke.
Baseball is back, and Peace Health is excited to once again sponsor the Ridgefield Raptors as they vie for the West Coast League title. Raptors games make a great family outing. Bring the whole crew to the ballpark to enjoy a safe, fun outdoor event featuring the thrills of Raptors baseball. As the largest health provider in Clark County, Peace Health is ready to step up to the plate and keep your family in the game, whether it's a routine appointment or specialty emergency care. Peace Health and the Ridgefield Raptors, 2 great teams.
The Ridgefield Raptors are back, where the entire family can watch top-level college baseball players live at the Rourke. Now, kids 12 and under get in free with a paid adult for all Sunday afternoon Raptors games. Enjoy local Southwest Washington baseball with the whole family this summer. Sunday games are at 105 and are presented by Peace Health and the Columbian. Come cheer on your Ridgefield Raptors all season long. Get your tickets now at ridgefieldraptors.com. Go Raptors!
Well, Andrew Trotman is back to the mound after an elongated pause from the last time he pitched. He's gone 2 innings already. He's stranded 5. In fact, both the Ridgefield Raptors and the Bellingham Bells stranded 2 in the 6th and 3 in the 3rd. They matched each other in that category. They both left the bases loaded in the 7th inning. Ridgefield had already scored 1 that inning, and they've tied the game up at 5-5. Andrew Trotman back on the mound for his 3rd inning of work. It's the 8th inning now. 5-5 is the score, and Trotman will face the top of the order, Daniel Jernin, to the plate and takes a ball outside. Trotman pitched scoreless innings in the 6th and 7th. Then he had to wait 22 minutes before this inning. That half inning alone where Ridgefield is at the plate, taking 22 minutes. Now a chopped ground ball. Trotman will try to field for it. The third baseman coming in, and Norton has no throw. An infield single for Daniel Jernin. Trotman came off the mound to try to field it. Didn't get a piece of it, and he would have had a tough throw even if he did field that one cleanly. And it's an infield single for Daniel Jernin. to lead off the 8th inning. Bellingham trying to retake the lead, giving it up for the first time since they took it in the 6th inning. Yugo Hamakawa to the plate. The left-handed hitter who has singled in consecutive at-bats now takes a ball low from Andrew Trotman. Andrew worked around some difficult innings the last couple frames. He got the first guy out each inning, even had 2 outs and nobody on in the 6th, but then proceeded to give up a hit by pitch and a single in both innings, and then another hit by pitch in the 7th. So he had 2 runners on in the 6th, he had 3 runners on in the 7th, and both times he struck out the final batter to leave multiple Bells on base. Now Trotman will have a conversation with Dominic Enbody, by the way, who has come in at catcher. So Bradley Priap spends the first 7 innings behind the dish. Dominic Enbody, now the catcher for Ridgefield, who helped out offensively in that 7th inning. Dominic singled on a bunt in that inning, and without him, without that performance, Ridgefield probably would not have scored. Now showing bunt is Hamakawa. He bunts to first base, and Morales will tag him in front of the bag. It is a successful sac bunt for Hamakawa, and Daniel Jernan ahead to second. Go-ahead run for the Bells here in the top of the 8th inning, and next hitter is scheduled to be Luis Aviles, the catcher who was laboring behind the dish, and he will be replaced by a pinch hitter now for Bellingham. Kyle Green has picked up a bat. And the Bellevue Community College 6'2" native of Poulsbo, Washington, comes in after this mound visit from Chris Cota, and Andrew Trotman is going to exit here in the top of the 8th inning. I think Ryan Pitts is going to come in. And indeed, it is the Lower Columbia College right-hander who will come in with a runner on second and 1 out in the top of the 8th inning. So Ryan Pitts enters with the go-ahead run for the Bells on second. Pitts comes in, who last made an appearance in the Portland Pickles series. It did not go well for Ryan. He came in the bottom of the 10th inning, and Pickles scored the walk-off run there in the 10th. So he suffered the loss there with 1 earned run. But he did have a scoreless inning against the Pickles earlier that series. 1 inning of scoreless work on June 26th. He has an ERA of 5.92, making his 8th appearance of the season. The Vancouver native has gone 13 2/3 of an inning, 15 strikeouts, 14 walks, 14 hits. And the right-hander comes in with a go-ahead run on second base, trying to shut down the Bellingham Bells here in crunch time. Eli Schubert still at the ready, and he'll probably be the next pitcher to come in. Ridgefield feeling good about the bullpen today. They felt like they had enough pitchers lined up to have enough depth to finish out this series. What the Corvallis series will look like, I'm not totally sure in terms of bullpen pitching. It depends largely on what happens here, and if we potentially go to extra innings, for which would be the 3rd time in 4 different rubber matches this season. On 3 separate occasions, Ridgefield has split the first 2 games with the team, and on 2 of those 3, they went to extra innings on getaway day. Had 1 walk-off win and suffered a walk-off loss. That was 4 days ago when the Pickles walked off the Raptors, and now Ridgefield has an opportunity to do some dramatics here, but it would help to get a couple outs. 1 away here in the 8th. Ryan Pitts is ready to go. Next batter will be Kyle Green. With the go-ahead run, Daniel Jernan on second base. Top of the 8th inning here from Ridgefield. So Ryan Pitts on the mound, the righty from Vancouver, Washington. Opening day starter, 20-year-old ready to go. First pitch from Ryan is low and away to Kyle Green, ball 1. Ridgefield scoring 1 run in the last half inning to tie the ball game. And Ryan Pitts on the mound trying to keep it And a 5-5 deadlock. 1-0 from Ryan as a fastball hit off the hands and foul. 1-1 is the count. Ryan, who comes from Skyview High School, was a two-way player for a while until about 3 months ago. And now just focusing on pitching. Went 8 1/3 innings for Lower Columbia College this spring with a 3.24 ERA. Spending 2 years at LCC so far. They'll go up to Longview next weekend to face Cowlitz. Here's the off-speed on the 1-1 and just off the zone. 2-1 the count at 78 miles an hour. 1 out, runner on second, tie ball game. In the top of the 8th inning, Kyle Green, right-handed hitter at the plate against right-handed pitcher in Ryan Pitts. Comes from the slab in the 2-1 and it's fouled off, so it goes a ball and then a foul and then a ball and then a foul. And it's 2-2 with Cole Hinkleman on deck. Had a home run earlier today. He's 2 for 4. Ryan Pitts would like to see him come to the plate with the runner holding at second and 2 outs rather than something of a more dangerous nature. He's got 1 more strike to get on Kyle Green. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Go ahead run at second. Ryan Pitts looks at that go-ahead run. The runner goes from second. This one's pounded towards left field. It'll be playable for the left fielder Hernandez. He makes the catch, and the runner manages to see the ball and go back. Daniel Jernin was stealing on the pitch, but hit high to left field and caught by Hernandez, and Jernin had a tag, and he got back to second, excuse me. So runner on second, and a fly ball is the second out of the inning. Had a good break from second. And the right-handed batter would have made things tough for Dominic Enbody to throw down to third. Now it's a left-handed batter, and Cole Hinkleman. With 2 outs, go-ahead runner still on second. Ryan Pitts throws a backdoor slider for a strike. He's ahead 1-0, or ahead 0-1 to Cole Hinkleman from Stanford University. This is his debut for the Bells this series. He's 1 for 5 on the week so far, and his first home run of the year earlier today. 0-1 count from Ryan Pitts. Goes to the fastball. It's hit towards first base. Morales fields on a hop. It went foul behind the bag. And it's 0-2 to Hinkleman. Just barely foul. It hit on the ground close to home plate and then took a high bounce and landed right in front of first base and skimmed to the right of the bag. 0-2, 2 outs. Runner on second. 5-5 is the score. Top of the 8th inning. Hinkleman the batter. Ryan Pitts out of the stretch. Comes set. Slider. It's hit high in the air and foul behind home plate. And no chance for Dominic Enbody. Outfield playing medium depth. Caden Connor still not all that deep in right field towards Cole Hinkleman, who's a left-handed batter. Pulled one over the fence earlier this ball game back in the 3rd inning. No balls and 2 strikes. Ryan Pitts deals a check swing, and he got him on the outside corner. It's a strikeout looking. Did not go around. It doesn't matter. Ryan Pitts comes in and gets the 2 outs to strand the go-ahead run at second. A single and a sac bunt made things interesting, but Ryan Pitts shuts the door in the 8th. Ridgefield will tie to take their first lead since the 4th inning. That's coming up after this break. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Tie score from Ridgefield.
Dick Hanna Dealerships is proud to welcome everyone back to support our Ridgefield Raptors. Just in time for warm summer nights with family and friends, lounging on the lawn, or eating dogs in the stands. Feels good to be back. In business for over 70 years, Dick Hanna Dealerships is a local, family-owned business with locations in Vancouver, Kelso, and Portland. Choose from thousands of cars and 12 new car brands. Experience nice in the car business. Dick Hanna Dealerships. Believe in nice. Now play ball.
Oh, I love family road trips. Wind in my ears.
Good stuff.
Treats in my mouth. And peace of mind, knowing Les Schwab did our tires, brakes, and alignment. Like Les Schwab, my family's safety is my first priority. Well, that and squeaky toys.
Les Schwab Tires, proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row. For J.D. Power 2021 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Bells a tie score, and Ridgefield coming up to the plate for the new inning with a tie score for the first time since the third inning, when Ridgefield scored 2 runs and took a lead but gave it up. John Peck now at the plate, and first pitch hits it hard to right field, tailing towards the fence, and it's caught by the right fielder on the first pitch, and Grayson Sterling gets under it. And Hunter Alberini gets the first out on a well-hit fly ball. And there's one out here in the 8th inning. Brad Norton to the plate. 0 for 3 in the ball game. Nobody on, 1 out, bottom of the 8th inning. Trying to get something started and take the lead here in the rubber match of this series with the Bellingham Bells. Alberini out of the windup, and the righty deals. Norton takes a strike. 0-1 from Alberini, who's out of Southern Nevada. Norton from Rutgers University, infield playing straight up. Same for the outfield as Alberini works the 0-1, swung on and missed. New catcher in the game for the Bellingham Bells is Kyle Green. Norton at the plate, and Tanner Jocks on deck, who led off last inning with a walk and scored the tying run. Norton behind 0-2. Pitch from Alberini is in the dirt. 1-2 to Bradley Norton out of Pleasanton, California, getting his 3rd start of the summer each of the last 3 games. Had a double in his first 2 starts, and perhaps he's waiting until the 8th inning to get his daily allotment of 1 double per game. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It is on the inside corner and called a strike, and Bradley Norton is down on 4 pitches, 2 down in the 8th inning. Tie score still with Tanner Jocks to the plate. Has 1 extra base hit on the season. It's a double. He's just gotten on base a whole lot. A lot of singles and a lot of walks for Tanner Jocks. He's a good leadoff man, good guy to turn the lineup over. He's batting 7th today, and he takes a ball down and away from Hunter Alberini. Alberini has worked 1 2/3 innings so far. Here's the 1-0 pitch, is on the lower part of the zone. 1-1 at 81 miles an hour from Alberini. 2 outs, nobody on. Tie score in the bottom of the 8th. Ridgefield to play Corvallis tomorrow, the Knight winning earlier today over the Bend Elks. 1-1 is on the outside half to Tanner. 1-2 the count from Alberini. Corvallis lost the first 2 games of that series, including a game that actually concluded today in the 11th inning, but they salvaged the final game. The 1-2 pitch, slider outside to Jocks, and it's 2-2 with 2 outs, nobody on. 5-5 score, bottom of the 8th. So Corvallis snaps their brief 2-game losing streak. They've still won 8 of their last 10. And they're 2.5 games ahead of Ridgefield. Fastball that's on the knees, and strike 3. Tanner Jocks goes down and strikes. Alberini punches out 2 in a 1-2-3 frame. And that does it for the 8th inning. We head to the 9th here in Ridgefield. A tie score, 5-5 between the Bells and the Raptors.
Found a giant spider in my bed.
Stepped outside and a hornet stung my head.
Got ants around the sink,
And I am starting to think the experts that I know are gonna make me pest-free. Natura Pest Control, killing your bugs and rodents, baby. Natura Pest Control, call today, get a quote for free.
Hey baseball fans, after the game visit A, the area's premier gaming, dining, entertainment, and meeting destination. A is a proud supporter of the Ridgefield Raptors and the perfect place to meet up with friends after a Raptors win for dinner, drinks, and great times. Keep the fun and excitement going after the 9th inning and grab beers at Tom's Urban, or enjoy a perfectly cooked porterhouse at Michael Jordan's Steakhouse. With 100,000 square feet of gaming space, 15 different restaurants, bars, and retail outlets to choose from, A has just what you need to turn your night at the ballgame into a night you won't forget. A, just off I-5 at exit 16, ILANIresort.com.
Glad that you're joining us here on a Thursday evening. Beautiful day for baseball here from Southwest Washington. A cloudy day. Sun has set here in Ridgefield. We are in the mid-60s now as we begin the month of July. And Ridgefield hopes to start out July on the right foot. It's a tie score as we head to the 9th inning. Ryan Pitts returns to the mound. Got the final 2 outs in the 8th inning. He now faces Charlie Somm, who takes a strike on the outer half from Ryan Pitts out of Lower Columbia College and did good work in that 8th inning. Came in with a go-ahead run on second base. And Ryan Pitts got a fly out and a strikeout to get out of it. And now throws a ball past Dominic Enbody, the catcher. And it's 1-1 from Ryan Pitts. Just starting out the 9th inning. Bellingham has not scored since the 4th inning. They've been close a couple of times. They've stranded 10 runners now in the ball game, have the Bells. Ridgefield, meanwhile, did not strand a runner until the 6th inning. They had scored 4 runs in that span, but they just didn't strand batters, including a 2-run home run in the first, and so that cleared the bases and scored a couple in the 3rd, but didn't leave anyone on. That pitch inside and just missing the fists of Charlie Somm. It's ball 2-1 to the leadoff man of the 9th inning. Now it's a tie score between these two clubs. Bellingham with 11 hits, Ridgefield 7. Neither team has committed an error today. Ryan Pitts out of the windup from the third base side of the rubber. 2-1 is hit towards third base. It's fielded, bobbled by the third baseman Norton. He will throw to first and not in time to get Kobe Morales. And that'll either go down as a base hit or the first error on either team tonight. It was a tough play for Norton, and even if he fielded it cleanly, it would have had a close play at first, but it will probably be E5 on the play. And indeed, the ruling is error on the third baseman. Charlie Somm aboard at first. Grayson Sterling, the batter, who is 0 for 3 in his last 3 at-bats, but that's following a 2-run home run, although I think his day will end at 1 for 4 with a home run because they're going to bring up a right-handed batter against right-handed pitcher. Malachi Knight is the new player, the incoming freshman at UCLA, the 18-year-old at 6'3", 187, who has played some earlier this series. He started the first couple of games but has not played today. And Malachi Knight, who finally did get his first base hit of the summer yesterday. He went hitless in his debut on Tuesday. But Knight has gone 1 for 9 in the series, now his 3rd game played. He does have 1 run scored and 1 walk. And the 18-year-old out of Marysville, Washington, takes to the batter's box with nobody out and a runner on first here in the 8th inning. Tie score. Ryan Pitts from the stretch and tries to catch the inside corner on the fastball and is not given the call. 1-0 is the count from Ryan Pitts. Infield in double play territory. Outfield playing straight up. Caden Connor in deep right field. Pitts out of the stretch, and the 1-0 is in for a strike. 1-1. Go-ahead run at first base. No matter what happens here, Ridgefield has a chance in the bottom of the 9th inning when the scheduled hitter would be the catcher, Dominic Enbody. The 8 and 9 hole hitters to come up in the 9th. 1-1 is the count from Ryan Pitts. Nobody out in the top of the 9th. Another fastball, and this one low. 90 miles an hour from Ryan. On deck is Ty Saunders and a single in his last at-bat. Bellingham continuing to rack up hits here and there, but not a lot of runs scored since the 4th inning when they scored 3 consecutive frames in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, but nothing since then. Another fastball from Pitts, and this one is a strike. Comes back to even the count, 90 miles an hour. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out, top of the 9th. Tie score, 5-5. Both teams have had leads twice. And now we're all even, both in games 1, the series, and the score here in game 3. Ryan Pitts now steps off the rubber and gets back on. Malachi Knight exits the batter's box momentarily. Right-hander who is the #1 overall recruit from the state of Washington in the class of 21. Just finished his high school career. 2-2 pitch. The runner goes. He goes around a strikeout, and then the throw to second is not in time. It is a strike him out, not quite throw him out. as Malachi Knight goes down on strikes. It was a pitch inside, and Knight kind of got twisted up, and he did go around. The runner, Som, is into second for a successful stolen base. And now Som is going to run back to first, and now the umpire is talking with Adam Gieselin. Knight has gone to the dugout, and Som is on to first. I don't know if they're going to call obstruction or what the call might be here. He was safe at second, and now the runner has gone back to first. And now the runner is going to be called out. So obstruction called on Malachi Knight, and that rules Charlie Som out at second, and Knight is retired. So it is, after all, basically a strike him out, throw him out, and now there's 2 outs and nobody on base in the top of the 9th inning. How about that? So that's the second out. And now nobody on for Ty Saunders, who does have 2 home runs on the year. He's hitting 169. Ryan Pitts throws in the dirt ball 1 to Ty, left-handed hitter, shortstop, with a single, a hit by pitch, a run scored, a strikeout, and a ground out on the ball game. Ty scores still, top of the 9th inning. Ridgefield hoping to walk it off in the bottom of the 9th, hoping to keep the score tied in the meantime. That pitch at the belt, strike 1 from Ryan Pitts. Came in some dramatic moments in the last couple series, including the 10th inning against Portland. This time going well so far for Ryan, who has yet to give up a hit so far. 1-1 pitch from Ryan Pitts is swung on and missed. 1-2 the count from Ryan. The Vancouver native pitching for essentially his hometown team now in Ridgefield. At a Skyline High School. It's fun to see him open up this season as the starter, and now trying to close out this homestand against the Bellingham Bells. 2 outs, nobody on. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here comes Ryan out of the windup and missed low. 2-2 to Ty Saunders out of Anacortes, Washington, the Portland Pilot, against Ryan Pitts. Infield playing straight up. Same for the outfield. Well, Caden Connor playing pretty deep in right field, nearly at the warning track. 2-2 pitches, swung on and missed, and Ryan Pitts strikes him out to end the inning. He faces the minimum in the 9th and keeps it a 5-5 ball game as we head to the bottom half of inning number 9. Ridgefield has had some dramatic rubber matches so far. We'll probably see another one here tonight. Tie score into the bottom of the 9th.
Baseball is back, and Peace Health is excited to once again sponsor the Ridgefield Raptors as they vie for the West Coast League title. Raptors games make a great family outing. Bring the whole crew to the ballpark to enjoy a safe, fun outdoor event featuring the thrills of Raptors baseball. As the largest health provider in Clark County, Peace Health is ready to step up to the plate and keep your family in the game, whether it's a routine appointment or specialty emergency care. Peace Health and the Ridgefield Raptors, 2 great teams.
C-Tran is your public transit system offering service in Clark County and beyond. Catch local service in Clark County, regional and express service to Portland, and connector service within the city limits of Camas, La Center, and Ridgefield. And if you don't have cash, no problem. C-Tran now accepts digital payments with Hop FastPass. So hit a home run and leave the driving to us. Visit c-tran.com for more information. C-Tran, our community, our promise.
Well, we head to the bottom of the 9th inning here from Ridgefield, Washington. Thanks so much for joining us as we head to what will undoubtedly be a dramatic game here from Ridgefield. It's a scoreless a tie ball game as we head to the bottom of the 9th. 5-5, both teams holding leads at various points in this contest. New pitcher for the Bellingham Bells is Noah Ferguson. Comes in, the right-hander out of Pacific Lutheran, originally from Salem, Oregon, just about an hour south of here. 3 and giving up 6 hits, 5'9", 160. He'll face the bottom half of the order for Ridgefield to be Dominic Enbody and Micah McDowell, and then we'll turn the lineup over to Tapton Hensley, is the 3-hole hitter in this in this alignment here. And so Ridgefield will try to retake the lead and walk it off here. They have not had a lead since the bottom of the third. And then Bellingham tied it and took the lead in the top of the fourth. And it's been either Bellingham in the lead or tied ever since then. Dominic Enbody to lead off against right-hand pitcher and Noah Ferguson. Enbody hits right-hand pitchers much better, and so he's got the advantage here against Noah Ferguson. Enbody, who came in as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning and singled on a bunt. Now he's got the bases empty, part of an inning where Ridgefield tied it up. And it's been 5-5 since then. Bottom of the ninth, just about to get started. Ferguson out of the stretch at all times, and he throws the first delivery outside, ball 1. Enbody steps out, adjusts the batting gloves, spits into the right one, wipes it off, and he's ready to go for the 1-0 pitch. Leadoff man in the bottom of the ninth. Noah Ferguson looking down at the slab, looks up towards the third base side, comes to the plate with the 1-0, swung on and missed. And Dominic Enbody now with a 1-1 count. Dominic out of Hubbard, Oregon, went to Wilsonville High School. Will play for his third different college this upcoming year. Concordia University shut down while he was there. Then played most recently at University of Antelope Valley. The 1-1 pitch from Noah Ferguson from the stretch comes to the plate, swung on and missed, and it's 1-2 to Dominic Enbody. Been the catcher the last couple innings as well, coming in for Bradley Priap, who started out this game as catcher. 1-2, bases empty, just starting out the bottom of the ninth inning. Dominic Enbody trying to represent the game-winning run if he can get on base. 1-2 pitch to Dominic is swung on, laced towards the first baseman on 3 hops, fielded by Som, and he will run to the bag himself for the unassisted putout. 1 out for Micah McDowell coming to the plate. The center fielder, who is 1 for 3 in the ballgame. He singled and later scored in the 3rd inning. Been working a lot with Chris Cota of late in terms of his swing. Center fielder from Oregon State steps in with 1 out, nobody on base, tie score, bottom of the ninth. And just coming in last series and getting acquainted with Chris Cota, head coach. First pitch to McDowell is just outside, ball 1. Main thing that McDowell has taken from Cota is avoiding getting jammed and just kind of starting the whole process, starting to swinging earlier and slower, not kind of getting jammed a lot. Wasn't getting the barrel out quick enough on pitches inside. 1-0 pitch is out, and ball 2 to Micah McDowell at 94 miles an hour from Noah Ferguson. McDowell used that teaching well, hit a home run yesterday for his first homer of the summer. And 3 RBIs last night, and 3 RBIs in the summer and 6 runs so far. 2-0 pitches, swung on and missed. 2-1 the count to Micah McDowell. The tie score in the bottom of the ninth. Corvallis already won today to get 1 of 3 games in their series. They're 2.5 games ahead of Ridgefield. If the Raptors don't win this game, they would have to sweep Corvallis as their one shot of getting the first half championship. McDowell takes a called strike. 2-2 is the count with 1 out. Ridgefield scoring 1 run in the 7th inning to tie it at 5-5, which remains the score. McDowell, left-handed hitter, waves the bat around and now holds it mostly still behind his left shoulder, preparing for the 2-2. Swings and behind the 90-mile-an-hour offering from Ferguson. And 2 outs here in the bottom of the ninth. Last gasp is Tafton Hensley. Even if Ridgefield doesn't score, we'll head to the 10th inning. And most likely would be Ryan Pitts still pitching. Could see Eli Schubert eventually. Hensley at the plate has 3 home runs in his last 4 games. At the plate with the bases empty, 2 outs. First pitch way outside. Hensley also has been working with the coaches in terms of his swing and has been hitting a lot better. Credits Nick Allen with helping adjust it. Nick, who's also the head coach at Ridgefield High School. Down the first baseline is the assistant coach, first base coach. 1 ball and no strikes to Tafton Hensley with 2 outs. Ferguson out of the stretch, and it is a called ball high to Tafton Hensley. who batted leadoff yesterday, a game after Ridgefield was held to just 1 run and didn't do a whole lot against Bellingham. And then Nick Allen was the one who suggested put Tafton in leadoff, and he hit 4 times, 4 for 6 in the ballgame. 2-0 pitch, he takes a big cut and misses it, trying to end the game on 1 swing. Tie score in the bottom of the 9th. So after the game, Nick Allen took credit for the win, jokingly, but it was a great performance by the Raptors hitters and a well put together lineup by the coaching staff. And Ridgefield totaled 20 hits in the ballgame. 2-1, good little two-seam fastball, it looked like, from Ferguson. Or maybe whatever it was that had some life on it. Late cut inside to Hensley, and it's 2-2 now to Tafton. 2 outs, bases empty, bottom of the 9th. Reese Hernandez on deck for Ridgefield. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ferguson throws it, swung on, and hit off the hands foul towards Nick Allen. And the assistant makes the grab and will throw across the diamond as Hensley stays alive. 2-2 the count to Tafton out of College of the Canyons. 3 doubles, a .356 average. On the series, he is 7 for 14, wanting 1 more hit here to extend this 9th inning. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Ferguson. Comes to the plate high and ball 3. Tafton is a speedy runner, so if he gets on base here, it's dangerous for the Bells, because he could score from first on a double or steal second and score on a single, whatever the case may be. And now he's 1 ball away from getting on base. Payoff pitch with 2 outs. It is swung on and hit towards first base. A slow roller. The first baseman fields, underhands to the pitcher, and he got to the bag in time. Hensley diving head first and nearly got there, but just late. And that ends the bottom of the 9th inning. We head to the 10th here in Ridgefield. Extra innings in the rubber match between the Bells and the Ridgefield Raptors.
Dick Hanna Dealerships is proud to welcome everyone back to support our Ridgefield Raptors. Just in time for warm summer nights with family and friends, lounging on the lawn, or eating dogs in the stands. Feels good to be back. In business for over 70 years, Dick Hanna Dealerships is a local, family-owned business with locations in Vancouver, Kelso, and Portland. Choose from thousands of cars and 12 new car brands. Experience nice in the car business. Dick Hanna Dealerships. Believe in nice. Now play ball.
Join the Ridgefield Raptors for warm sunshine, great food, and exciting top-level college baseball at the Rourke. Bring your family, friends, neighbors, and coworkers for a relaxing night outdoors this season. Your group can welcome us on the Les Schwab left field platform, the Leonard Homes and Dick Hanna grass berms, or the First Centennial and Wellhaven Pet Health picnic areas. There's nothing like a Ridgefield Raptors summer baseball game. Get your tickets now at ridgefieldraptors.com. Go Raptors!
Yesterday, we saw 2 games in the West Coast League endure lightning delays. Today, we've got 2 games into extra innings, as looks like Walla Walla went into an extra inning game that lasted into the 14th. And we'll give you an update on that one. First hitter of the top of the 10th inning is blooped by the hitter Riley Parker, and Ryan Pitts induces a first pitch line out, and 1 away here in the top of the 10th inning. Just a pinch hit opportunity for Riley Parker, and he wastes no time swinging at the first offering, pinch hitting for A.J. Davis. And Parker bloops out to Tanner Jocks, the second baseman. And it brings up Emilio Corona, the 9-hole hitter, left fielder, who's 1 for 4 in the ballgame. Ryan Pitts has done good work so far for Ridgefield, gone 1 1/3 innings, and gets a called strike to Emilio Corona. 1 out, nobody on. Tie score, 5-5 is the mark. Top of the 10th inning. 3rd time that a rubber match has gone to extra innings for the Ridgefield Raptors. Biggest hole in the outfield is to left center for Corona, who swings and misses the 0-1. Pitts has faced 5 batters. He's struck out 2 of them and given up 0 hits so far. Outfield shifted to the right side to Corona, who's a right-handed hitter, so they're looking opposite field to Corona. The 0-2 pitch swung on and missed, and Ryan Pitts strikes out his third of the appearance. 2 down in the 10th inning. Strikeout swinging of Emilio Corona, who has struck out 3 times today. That is the 17th strikeout for Ridgefield pitchers today. I thought 15 was a lot, and that's what they did yesterday. That's now 32 strikeouts between last night and tonight for Ridgefield pitchers. Back to the top of the order, and one of the few guys who has not struck out today, that's Daniel Jernin. First pitch to Daniel is high to the Lower Columbia College hitter against Lower Columbia College pitcher. Jernin takes ball 1 from his Red Devil teammate. 2 outs, top of the 10th inning. Bases are empty for the Bellingham Bells. 5-5 is the score. The right-hander throws a bit inside. 2-0 from Ryan. Much better in terms of walks today. Ridgefield gave up 15 walks a night ago. They've given up just 2 tonight. It's a much better effort tonight from Ridgefield, getting in control, and I think it's contagious a bit. The first guy doesn't walk too many, and the next pitchers come in and do better. This one sliced upwards and into the netting, a foul ball. 2 balls and 1 strike now from Ryan Pitts. The Bells and Raptors knotted up at 5 for the last 2+ innings. We're in the top of the 10th here from the Rourke on getaway day. Bellingham traveling, and they'll take the bus ride up to Bellingham tonight. Ridgefield will bus down tomorrow morning down to Corvallis. 2 balls and 1 strike from Ryan Pitts. Throws a fastball, and it's hit into the screen, and Ryan Pitts will take that. It runs the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Daniel Jernin, who had a triple earlier today, an RBI, a run scored. He's also walked and singled. He's only gotten out once today. Ryan Pitts hoping to be the first one to get him out, or the second one. That 1 ground out to short is his only time not getting on base. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Ryan Pitts comes to the plate, swung on and missed, and Ryan Pitts retires the Bells in order with a pair of strikeouts here in the 10th. Gets his college teammate to end the top of the 10th inning. We head to the bottom of inning number 10. It's still 5-5 between the Bells and the Raptors.
A lot has changed in Clark County since C-Tran began service in 1981. We've changed with it. 30 bus routes, 2 bus rapid transit projects, and millions of rides later, C-Tran has grown into an award-winning transit system serving Clark County, including the city limits of Ridgefield. Please join C-Tran in celebrating an amazing 40 years serving you, our community, with activities happening in 2021. Look for details at c-tran.com, and thank you for 40 great years.
Ridgefield Main Street thanks you for supporting the Raptors and downtown, the heart of Ridgefield. Spend the moolah you win at the game at downtown shops and restaurants. Upcoming events include Main Street Day, C-Tran Shuttle Downtown Tailgate, and the Friday Night Flicks Outdoor Film Series. We are a nonprofit organization dedicated to preserving the cultural heritage of downtown Ridgefield while advocating for its future. More information at ridgefieldmainstreet.com and find us on Facebook at Ridgefield Main Street. We'll see you downtown. And go Raptors!
Well, Ridgefield coming in at 12-8 in a big game that's coming down to the wire. Here in the bottom of the 10th inning, the Raptors still tied at 5-5. Ryan Pitts keeping the game close, keeping the game tied. And a 1-2-3 top of the 10th inning brings the Raptors to the bat in the bottom half of this ball game, which has now lasted about 3.5 hours, just shy of that. And Reese Hernandez will lead off for the Raptors against Ferguson. Noah Ferguson at a Pacific Lutheran against Reese Hernandez at a San Jose State University. The left fielder who's gotten aboard twice today but not off a hit. Now he leads off the bottom of the 10th inning. Ferguson comes to the plate. It's outside ball 1 to Reese, who has 5 extra base hits on the year. They're all doubles. .354 batting average. He's on a 7-game hitting streak. And if he gets a hit here, he'll extend it to 8th using the extra innings to do it. That still counts. And it'll be an important hit here. He's ahead 1-0 and now 2-0 as the pitch runs way outside from Ferguson. Tie score, bottom of the 10th inning. Bellingham has out-hit Ridgefield today, a rarity for Ridgefield, which leads the league in hits by a lot, but 11-7 in that category. But Reese Hernandez trying to be the 8th hit today and way outside, and he'll take a walk too. It's 3-0 now from Noah Ferguson. Ridgefield has drawn just 3 walks today, all in the 6th inning and beyond. They had not left anyone on base or walked through the first 5 innings, but they scored 4 of their 5 runs in those innings. Reese Hernandez had 3 balls and no strikes, the leadoff man at the bottom of the 10th. The pitch is just on the outside corner on a fastball at 92 miles an hour from Noah Ferguson. Reese Hernandez facing an outfield alignment that is situated straight away and fairly deep. The right fielder Grayson Sterling backed up towards the fence. The 3-1 pitch is outside, ball 4, and a 5-pitch base on balls for Reese Hernandez, the game-winning run. Ridgefield has had their first rubber match was here at this ballpark. Reese Hernandez got aboard in the bottom of the 13th inning and scored the game-winning run. He now represents the game-winning run yet again. Caden Connor on deck. The guy who hit Reese Hernandez home was John Peck. John is now in the hole. Caden Connor is a bunt threat. He did have a bunt single earlier. He's also a capable sac bunter. Corner infielders playing even with the bag, and in fact the third baseman a little bit inside. No outs, runner on first. He does show bunt, places it down the third baseline, well placed. Davis throws and in time to get Connor, but a successful sac bunt and the game-winning run at second base now. A walk and a sac bunt. Caden Connor takes the trip back to the dugout with the productive out, and Kobe Morales to the plate. Morales homered in the first inning on a 2 RBI long ball to right center field. He has yet to get on base since then, including a scary play in the 3rd inning when he grounded to the first baseman wide of the bag, and then he was running laterally, kind of perpendicular to Kobe Morales, who was running up the first baseline, and they collided as they got to first base. But both players were okay. However, Morales has struck out in the 2 at-bats since then, and they might intentionally walk him, and indeed, Morales will be walked. Well, I don't know if Bellingham knows this, but the guy coming to the plate is the guy who doubled in Reese Hernandez in the 13th inning in the rubber match against Portland. And now John Peck will come to the plate with Reese Hernandez again on second base. And so Morales at first. That does mean force outs on first, second, and third. Reese Hernandez, who is already on second base. 1 out, John Peck at the plate. Tie score, bottom of the 10th. Ridgefield trying to win their 5th series in the 7 series so far. Infield and double play depth. John Peck, the right-handed hitter, against right-handed pitcher and Noah Ferguson. Looks back at the runner, comes to the plate, down low, ball 1. John Peck has walked once, but has not gotten a hit yet. Struck out the first 2 times, then the walk, and then a fly out to right field. He is batting .304 on the year. He's second in the league in West Coast League in hits, and now a mound visit from Jim Clem. That's the trouble with the Ridgefield offense. The trouble for the opposing team, I mean, is that the 4th and 5th hitters in this lineup are 1st and 2nd in the league in hits. So what are you going to do? Walk the first guy to get to the 2nd? I mean, sure, but now you're facing the 2nd best hitter in the West Coast League in terms of base hits. John Peck, who has 28. And Jim Clem finishes his discussion with Noah Ferguson. Runners in 1st and 2nd. It's really only the runner at 2nd that matters. If Ridgefield can score him, the ball game is over. If Bellingham strands him, then we would head to the 11th. There's 1 out here in the bottom of the 10th. John Peck has a 1 ball and no strike count, 1 out. Ferguson back to the mound, comes set, and John Peck readies for the 1-0. Here comes Ferguson. It is in there for a called strike. John Peck, who has 8 doubles on the season, 3 of them were in the same. He had the game-winning double against the Portland Pickles. including the walk-off double. 1 ball and 1 strike from Noah Ferguson. It is at the knees, strike 2. Runners in first and second, 1 out. John Peck stepping out of the batter's box, adjusts the helmet, steps back in. Noah Ferguson getting back ahead in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. On deck is Brad Norton. Ferguson looks back at the runner, works John Peck. It's outside and blocked by the catcher. Well done by the backstop and Kyle Green. I think we'll see a pinch hitter if John Peck gets aboard or whatever happens. If it's not a walk-off, Cody Darcy has picked up a bat, and Cody will pinch hit next, depending on what happens here with John Peck at the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners in first and second, and a tie score in the bottom of the 10th. Ferguson looking back a couple of times. Now to the plate, swung on and hit high in the air, not very deep. Left field, coming in as the left fielder, and he will give way to the shortstop, and it's Saunders making the catch for the second out. Runners remain at first and second, and Cody Darcy to the plate for his first appearance in this ball game. Cody normally is a starter at third base. He's hitting .219 on the year. Had 2 hits against Portland in his most recent game. In the finale against Portland 4 days ago. 2 for 3 in the ballgame with a double. Has 5 doubles on the year, 4 home runs, tied for first on the team. .219 batting average. A single here could win the game. 2 outs. Game-winning run at second base. Tie score, bottom of the 10th. Noah Ferguson working from the stretch to Cody Darcy. Takes a swing and hammers one to left field. This one is a no-doubter. Into the bullpen, a first pitch 3-run bomb. And Cody Darcy has walked off the Bellingham Bells to win the series from Ridgefield. His 5th home run of the year. He throws the batting helmet in the air and gets doused by the Gatorade bath. The players all surrounding him and throttling around at home plate. Cody Darcy on the first and only pitch he sees in the ball game, and he sends it over the bullpen and left field. They rip the jersey off him, and who needs a jersey when you've just hit a 3-run home run to win the ball game? And the native of Enumclaw, Washington, walks it off. His grandparents, Welma and Wayne, are cheering from home over on the East Coast if they're still awake. At 10:07 p.m., Cody Darcy ends this 10-inning thriller, and Ridgefield wins the series on a 3-run home run. Cody Darcy sends it to left on the first pitch he sees. It scores both Reese Hernandez and Kobe Morales. It ends the ball game on the second walk-off that Ridgefield has had this season. One of them by John Peck to score Reese Hernandez. The other one, Cody Darcy, also to score Reese Hernandez, who scores the 6th run to win it. And Kobe Morales scores, and Cody Darcy comes in on a pinch hit 3-run home run. Final score is 8-5 in 10 innings tonight. How about that for Cody Darcy from Enumclaw, Washington? He used to play for the Wenatchee Apple Sox and now has had a dramatic season for the Ridgefield Raptors. Well, that is a fun one, and that'll take us to Corvallis. Ridgefield gains a game on Corvallis over the course of the series. Both teams did win today. Corvallis did lose earlier today, finishing a game that started yesterday. So Ridgefield winning 2 out of 3 this series, and the Corvallis Knights winning just 1 out of 3. So Corvallis within 2 games. If they win 2 out of 3 against the Corvallis Knights, they would win the first half championship and get their first playoff berth in franchise history, and that is in thanks due, in part to, Cody Darcy, who had 4 home runs earlier this year, 3 home runs early, and then got 1 more recently on June 23rd, and has been scuffling a bit. His batting average started out really high. He was batting in the 300s and dipped to the 2s and was a little bit below 200 for a little while, and then got back up above the 200 mark, and was batting 221 coming in, or 219, excuse me, and got his 5th home run of the year, which not only wins the ball game, but it also ties him for the league lead in home runs. 3 players with 5, and it finishes the game at 8-5 final score from Ridgefield. That is as wild a game as we've had this season. We saw a 13-inning walk-off game, but Cody Darcy just blasted one to left, and the left fielder Corona knew it. He didn't even start running towards it, and it is not easy to hit home runs to left. And Cody Darcy himself admits he always hits home runs to right field. He almost never pulls the ball to left, and he just barreled that one on the screws over the bullpen in left field against the wind, and he gets the walk-off 3-run home run, and the game is over. Quick look through the lineup before we let you go here from Ridgefield. On the day, Tafton Hensley got 1 hit. Caden Connor went 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Kobe Morales 1 for 4 with a home run. Cody Darcy 1 for 1 with the homer. Dominic Enbody 1 for 2 with the bunt single, and Micah McDowell 1 for 4. The winning pitcher, Ryan Pitts, who went 2 2/3 innings, gave up no runs while striking out 5. Well, that'll do it for us from Ridgefield. Thanks to Jason Jenish and Gus Farah and everyone else who makes these broadcasts possible. Thanks to Cody Darcy for the dramatics in the 9th inning. Signing off from Ridgefield. Join us at 6:30 tomorrow from Corvallis, Oregon, where the Raptors take the final series of the first half, and they'll play the Corvallis Knights, the top 2 teams in the Southern Division. That is 6:30 p.m. tomorrow night, starting a 3-game series against the Knights. I'm Josh Warden signing off from Ridgefield, Washington. Final score 8-5. The Raptors win it from Ridgefield. So long, everybody.